Chapter 130. Lin Yan scratched her head. She was well aware of her own condition. Many things have happened recently. I've thought things through and I'm feeling much better. Thank you, Dr. An. You're welcome. How is the situation you mentioned previously? Asked Dr. An. Lin Yan had mentioned to Dr. An that something was wrong with her. Lin Yan sighed and replied, I was about to tell you about this. This is the reason why I'm here today. There hasn't been anything like this recently, but I'm still worried. Dr. An nodded and said, You've undergone a thorough examination, so there shouldn't be anything wrong with your body. I'm guessing that it might be a psychological problem. Dr. An pondered for a moment before he added, Miss Lin, have you ever considered that the things you did when you lost your memory might have been your subconscious's true wish? Huh? Lin Yan was confused. True wish? Wouldn't that mean that she was the pervert? That's impossible. Lin Yan coughed softly. Dr. An smiled and said, Actually, in psychology, this kind of situation also happens. Some patients subconsciously have a strong desire to do something, but they usually suppress this desire. As time goes by, it might lead to a situation like yours. You might do it without knowing it and lose your memory afterward. Is it also my imagination that I'm talking to myself? That's a possibility, Lin Yan pondered for a moment. Actually, compared to schizophrenia and ghosts, Dr. N's explanation was more believable. Let's not talk about seeing a ghost. She was just trying to find a doctor in a desperate situation. As for schizophrenia, there were many other symptoms. Other than a few accidents, everything else was normal. It wouldn't affect her life and mental state at all. However, F***ck. If these were her subconscious thoughts, wouldn't this be even more terrifying? Why did she feel as though the main character in a fantasy novel had a demon in her heart? No matter what, Lin Yan felt more at ease now that she was in a stable condition. As for whether she was a pervert or a demon in her heart, perhaps she would be able to return to normal when she fully recovered. After leaving the clinic, Lin Yan headed to the rehabilitation department to make an appointment with the doctor. She had paid for a whole year's worth of rehabilitation classes before, but she had been too dispirited. Although she had made an appointment, she had not gone to the training. When she was abroad, her leg had recovered by more than half after treatment and training. Now that it was interrupted, she had to start all over again. However, the last thing she was afraid of was starting over. In a private training room, Lin Yan repeated the boring and difficult movements with the help of the physiotherapist. After 2 hours, Lin Yan was drenched in sweat. The physiotherapist recognized the patient immediately. She was Lin Yan, who had been the subject of much gossip recently. Chapter 131. The physiotherapist couldn't help but strike up a conversation. Miss Lin, you're amazing. Most people would groan in pain in less than 10 minutes. You didn't even frown after 2 hours, really? Lin Yan chuckled and put on a long face. Actually, I've been crying in my heart. You just don't know, rehabilitation training had been painful, but she had been through much harsher training before, so she was used to it. The physiotherapist, who hadn't expected her to say that, couldn't help but chuckle. He hadn't expected Lin Yan to be so approachable. She wasn't as pretentious and mean as the rumors had made her out to be. The physiotherapist couldn't help but chime in, Miss Lin, this is a serious mechanical injury. Your bones and muscles are severely injured. If you hadn't gotten a good doctor to operate on you, I'm afraid your leg would have been crippled. How did you get such a serious injury? Lin Yan, who was taken aback, replied casually, there was a small accident. It was a car accident. If it was that serious, it couldn't be considered a small accident, right? After all, this was a private matter. The physiotherapist nodded and didn't probe further. Today's training has ended. Remember to come on time next week. You really can't delay your recovery any longer. If you come any later, the muscles in your leg will be completely fused and you won't be able to recover. In the future, your high-precision movements will be affected. Lin Yan nodded. Got it. Thank you. The discussions on the internet were getting more and more intense. Meeting One's Match had been releasing photos of the celebrities, which had become a hot topic several times. Pei Nanshu's appearance in the movie had garnered a lot of praise. Jiang Sifei's photo had been edited so much that it didn't even look like her. Fans and netizens had also praised her. Although Jiang Sifei's photo had obviously been edited, she had managed to maintain a good reputation. Her fans had a good impression of her and were convinced of her acting skills. Hence, the comments below the photo were filled with praises and anticipation. Lin Yan hadn't taken any photos, so the official website hadn't released any photos of her character, Lin Pianruo. She was supposed to be the fourth female lead, so it wouldn't have mattered much. However, Meeting One's Match was adapted from a novel of the same name. In the novel, Lin Pianruo's character wasn't written much, but a group of die-hard fans loved her. Hence, when the casting list was officially announced, almost all the fans were enraged when they saw that Lin Yan was going to be their goddess. What infuriated the fans the most was the fact that the fourth female lead, Lin Pianruo, and the fourth male lead, Fang Canyang, were playing the role of Wei Shufeng, who had become popular in the past 2 years. In the movie, Lin Pianruo was the domineering female CEO, while Fang Canyang was the domineering female CEO's little wolf dog. Fans of the novel had been looking forward to seeing Lin Pianruo as a couple, yet Lin Yan had chosen to play the role of Lin Pianruo. It felt like he had been fed a pile of *T, therefore, the anger of the book's fans, with some people adding fuel to the fire, directly expanded infinitely. Chapter 132. F***CK. How could my Su and Lin Yan act as a couple? The production team is going crazy. Lin Yan is so ugly, yet she looks so innocent. How could she portray my Queen Pianruo? Did they cast a spell on Meeting One's Match? Boycott Meeting One's Match. If Lin Yan is cast as Lin Pianruo, I will never watch this show. Isn't she making a fool of herself? Damn it. Didn't you see that the production team hasn't even released a photo of Lin Pianruo? You know that Lin Yan can't be seen in public. After the official announcement of the cast, Wei Shufeng's fans started to tear into Lin Yan. Some of them even photoshopped Lin Yan's black and white photo. Lin Yan didn't respond at all. The only interaction she had with the netizens was, "Did you strike it rich today?" No, Lin Yan didn't know much about Wei Shufeng. She had only heard rumors about him. She simply liked to listen to his songs. She had heard that the Wei family was in the jewelry industry and was a wealthy family in the capital city. Wei Shufeng was the youngest and most beloved son of the Wei family. In terms of music, Wei Shufeng was indeed talented. He had studied music at a young age and made his debut at the age of 18. He had composed, arranged, played, and sung well. He was comparable to a band. When he had first debuted, he had swept the music industry with his exceptional talent. Subsequently, he had entered the film and television industry. He was considered a genius. Yet, such a talented man had fallen for Lin Shuya's charms. Both of them worked under Triumph Entertainment. Wei Shufeng could be considered Lin Shuya's senior brother. When Lin Shuya had just debuted, Wei Shufeng had specially groomed her and introduced her to many opportunities. It could be said that he had taken good care of her. Fans had even started to spread rumors about them, but they had been cleared up eventually. They had merely claimed that they were just brothers and sisters. They were a perfect couple, so it wouldn't be a big deal even if there were some rumors about them. Instead, it would be the icing on the cake. Many fans even believed that they were a couple. Although the fans weren't aware of it, the insiders in the industry knew that Wei Shufeng had fallen in love with Lin Shuya. Even after she had started dating Han Yishuan, he had still pursued her relentlessly. With her angelic appearance, Lin Shuya had many admirers and supporters. Wei Shufeng was just one of them. Previously, Pei Yutong had said that Lin Shuya had connections, and it wasn't groundless. Lin Shuya's father was the chairman of Triumph Entertainment, Lin Yuetong. Her boyfriend was the heir of the Han Corporation, Han Yishuan. Her senior brother was a talented musician, Wei Shufeng, and her piano teacher was the renowned pianist, Yu Ziheng. Her professional mentor was the vice president of the Imperial Capital Film Academy. She was like the heroine in those novels who had the halo of the main character. Everyone loved and cared for her, and she would often meet noble people. The talented young men around her were all infatuated with her kindness and beauty, unable to extricate themselves. In comparison, Lin Yan seemed like a vicious female antagonist. Just as the situation was heating up, the article about Lin Yan and Wei Shufeng's scandal surfaced again. They even claimed that Wei Shufeng was infatuated with Lin Yan, which made his fans even more disgusted. Lin Yan didn't have to guess to know that this was Lin Shiya's way of making people hate her. When she had first found out that Wei Shufeng was going to be Fang Kanyang's actor, Lin Yan had already predicted this. At that time, this young Master Wei would definitely cause a huge ruckus. Indeed, not only had Wei Shufeng liked the article about how Lin Yan had bullied his sister, but he had also gone online to repost the gossip about them. Chapter 133. That night, Lin Yan was lying in bed, reading gossip. Her phone rang. It was Zhao Hongling. "Hello, Sister Ling. Have you seen Wei Shufeng's Weibo post?" Zhao Hongling had indeed called to ask about it. "I'm reading it," replied Lin Yan. She had originally gone online to update her Weibo account. However, she had realized that there had been a lot more comments than usual. Hence, she had decided to check on Wei Shufeng's Weibo post. After skimming through the comments, she returned to her Weibo page and continued to edit her post. "Did I strike it rich today? Nope. I'm sure you've heard about Wei Shufeng's background. We can't afford to offend him. Besides, he's known for his bad temper. He doesn't give face to anyone. I'm afraid that he will make things difficult for you. My schedule is very busy tomorrow, so I won't be able to accompany you. Be careful and bear with him. Don't get into a conflict with him," Zhao Hongling reminded her. Lin Yan nodded obediently. "Got it, Sister Ling," Zhao Hongling sighed heavily. "If he goes overboard, remember to call me. I will handle it." Wei Shufeng's reputation in the industry was mixed. He was indeed talented, but he had a terrible temper. He was a troublemaker who would stir up trouble every other day. However, no one dared to voice their anger. After all, he had the right to be arrogant. What was more troublesome was that the public opinion was on Wei Shufeng's side this time. The public opinion was already unfavorable to them. If Wei Shufeng was added to the mix, Zhao Hongling had already prepared herself for the worst. If things didn't work out, they would have to give up on the movie. Duo will accompany you tomorrow. That girl is straightforward and prejudiced against you. Don't take it to heart. I have already explained to her. Although she might still feel uncomfortable, she will help you in your daily life and work. Don't worry." Lin Yan's heart warmed when she heard Zhao Hongling's words. "Thank you, Sister Ling." She didn't mind Duo's attitude towards her. On the contrary, Duo's obvious disgust made her feel more at ease. At least she wouldn't have to worry about the people around her. Her previous assistant was obedient and took good care of her, but the things she did behind her back were enough to make her shudder. Ever since he had started following Zhao Hongling, he had caused her countless troubles, but she had never given up on him. In reality, she could have placed all her energy on artists that were more worthy of her attention. But, even during her most difficult times, Zhao Hongling still took care of her. It was only because she was an artist under her management. The next day, the crew was very lively. It was as if they were celebrating the new year. They gathered in groups and gossiped. "Hey, did you guys see Wei Shufeng's post last night?" "Ha ha ha, of course I did. It was so satisfying. Wei Tianwang was too domineering. He had even declared that he had to be blind to have fallen for Lin Yan. It's already trending today." Chapter 134. The man paused for a moment before he lowered his voice. "Besides, who doesn't know that Wei Shufeng is interested in Lin Xia? His goddess has been bullied so badly. How could he not help her? Only someone like Lin Yan would be so shameless as to fight with Lin Shia for a man. Doesn't she know that she is the laughing stock of the industry? She even dares to act as Lin Pianruo. What else wouldn't she dare to do? I just don't know if she still dares to come today after provoking Heavenly King Wei's thunderous rage. Just as the staff member finished speaking, the studio suddenly fell silent for a moment. Lin Yan, who was wearing a casual outfit and a baseball cap, strode in. Her assistant, Qian Duo, trailed behind her. Almost at the instant the two of them walked in, countless strange gazes instantly turned to look at them. Look! Look! It's Lin Yan. Oh my god. She is really thick-skinned. How dare she show up? This is a chance to act as a couple with Wei Shufeng. How could she let it go? She would come even if she had to kneel down and lick his boots. TSK. When is Wei Shufeng coming? I can't wait to see how Wei Shufeng will tear her apart. It's going to be a huge show. I can't wait any longer. Duo had been working for Jiang Sifei for a long time, so she was used to everyone's politeness. However, after working for Lin Yan for 2 days, she had heard all sorts of sarcastic comments and insults. Duo's face darkened. To be honest, this is the first time I've met an artist like you. How could you criticize her so thoroughly? As long as there was someone scolding Lin Yan on the internet, then they would be friends. Lin Yan grinned at the lass. Huh? Am I that good? I actually managed to unify everyone's taste. The corners of Duo's mouth twitched. I really don't know how you can be so heartless. Do you know who you have offended this time? You are about to die, yet you are still making sarcastic remarks. Is Wei Shufeng that scary? Lin Yan raised an eyebrow. Duo looked shocked. Of course. Haven't you heard of him? Given Wei Shufeng's family background, he had already been the #1 hedonist in the capital before he had even entered the entertainment industry. After entering the entertainment circle, he became even more domineering. No one dared to provoke him. As long as there was something that displeased him, he would turn the world upside down. You're already lucky that he didn't pursue the matter of you riding on his popularity last time. Now that you've stirred up such a scandal, he definitely won't let it go. The more Duo spoke, the angrier she got. So why did you do this behind Sister Ling's back? How dare you create such a scandal? Do you have a death wish? Lin Yan blinked innocently. Who said that I created those rumors? Who else could it be other than you? Lin Yan quipped, I don't have any money. How could I buy a draft? Toto actually choked on his own words. During this period, she was certain that Lin Yan was really poor. The clothes he was wearing were all cheap brands, and he was carrying a tattered canvas bag with the blinding words, sudden wealth, printed on it. Despite the dangerous situation, she had chosen to take the subway. She really cared about money more than her life. She couldn't stand the content of her Weibo account anymore. Lin Yan patted Toto's shoulder with a smile. Besides, given my capabilities, there's no need for me to waste money. Chapter 135. When she reached the makeup room, the stylist and his assistant were already there. The stylist was a fine-looking man who was dressed to the nines. His waist was even slimmer than a woman's, and his nails were clean and neat. His face was covered in makeup, and his hair was dyed flaxen. He was wearing a trendy brand that had recently become popular. The man ignored Lin Yan as he glanced at her from the corner of his eye. Then, he resumed his conversation with his assistant. His assistant couldn't help but size up Lin Yan. Brother Kevin, is she Lin Yan? Her features are not bad, but her dressing is a little too crude. Lin Yan stepped forward and greeted him. Hello, Lin Yan. The stylist scrutinized her from head to toe and replied slowly, I'm Kevin, your stylist. Shall we begin now? Asked Lin Yan. The stylist's eyes scanned her face. Did you put on makeup? Lin Yan replied, "No, I just applied some skincare." The stylist raised an eyebrow in surprise. "All right then. You don't have to remove your makeup. Apply some moisturizer while I get ready. I'll come back later." Lin Yan nodded and sat down in front of the dresser. Duo looked worried as she scrolled through the news. She paced back and forth beside Lin Yan. Wei Shufeng's post on Weibo yesterday has already become a hot topic. His fans have become even more aggressive. What should I do? My first scene today is with Wei Shufeng. Lin Yan rummaged through her bag for some time before she took out a bottle of moisturizer. She rubbed it on her face and said, "Relax. I'll deal with whatever comes my way." The stylist, Kevin, walked over with the makeup kit. Lin Yan whipped out something to wipe her face. She glanced at her and asked, "What are you using to wipe your face?" "Moisturizer. It's Nature Hall's Dragon Blood Energy Moisturizer. Isn't the name cool?" Lin Yan held the red and black bottle in her hand. Kevin was shocked when he heard her. Nature Hall was a national brand that was cheap and effective. Besides, she had good skin, so this brand was good enough. However, the problem was, "Isn't this for men?" Kevin asked. Lin Yan blinked in confusion. "Huh? Really?" "I asked the shop assistant which one was the most convenient, and she recommended this one. He said that the combination of toner, essence, and lotion is all in one bottle." Toto silently held his forehead. He simply didn't want to admit that this was his artist. "Why don't you just die of laziness?" Kevin seemed to be at a loss for words. He stood there in a daze, his face full of disbelief. "Are you a woman or not?" The stylist had never expected that Lin Yan, who was rumored to have seduced all the male celebrities in the entertainment industry, would be even rougher than a man. "Kevin, the internet is calling you a hypocritical B*TCH. Are you worthy of the netizens' comments?" Lin Yan coughed. "Ahem. I'm really sorry." Kevin leaned closer to the girl's face and scrutinized it carefully. "You really don't have any makeup on. Your skin is in such good condition." "Have you always used this?" Lin Yan replied, "Yeah, I've been using it for a long time." "Why?" Kevin replied, "Ahem. I'm fine." Chapter 136. Air. "How long will the makeup take?" asked Lin Yan. Kevin replied expressionlessly, "About 2 hours." "That long?" Lin Yan was shocked. Kevin replied, "Is that long? That's just the makeup. I need half an hour to get my hair done, and I'm not sure how long it will take." "It can't be." Lin Yan looked as though she was about to die. Kevin rolled his eyes at her. "Didn't you used to put on makeup? Didn't you use this time? Many celebrities wake up early in the morning to do their makeup. I used to, take at most half an hour." Lin Yan muttered to herself. Kevin was exasperated as he bellowed, "You're a celebrity. You have to go on stage every day. Why would you need half an hour to put on makeup? No wonder you've never had a good makeup or styling before, even though you have such a good foundation. No matter how bad your condition was, you shouldn't have looked like that. What kind of messy stylist did you find? Don't you know that you're wasting a heavenly gift? You're committing a crime." Lin Yan shrunk her neck as she was being berated. She had no choice, as she didn't know much about these things. Lin Shia had been the one who had arranged everything for her. Was this stylist obsessive-compulsive? Even if she was ugly, she would be ugly to herself. Was she in his way? "Is that so? I think it looks good." Lin Yan replied meekly. Anyway, it would save her trouble as long as it was done quickly. Kevin seemed to have been completely subdued by her beauty. He picked up a makeup brush and placed his hands on his waist as he bellowed, "Beautiful, my foot. I'll show you what true beauty is today." Kevin turned Lin Yan's face to the side as he began to design her makeup. Kevin couldn't stop praising her good skin and perfect facial features as he casually asked, What was your previous occupation? Were you always an artist? Before. Lin Yan was startled as she mumbled, not before. My previous job was a little rough. Most of the employees were men. Kevin looked as though he had expected it. No wonder. Why did you decide to enter this industry? Lin Yan replied, I made a lot of money. Kevin said, okay. At first, he thought that she would at least talk about life and ideals. Her answer was quite straightforward, and surprisingly, he didn't dislike it. Kevin glanced at her attire and couldn't help but say, based on the films and commercials you've accepted before, your income should be decent. You shouldn't be so poor, right? Look at you. You don't buy clothes, bags, or cosmetics. Where did you spend all your money? Haha. I'm not interested. Lin Yan replied perfunctorily as she avoided the question. A portion of her earnings were spent on Lin Shia, a portion was invested in Angel's Shelter, and a large portion was invested in Darling's Home Charity Foundation. As time passed, it seemed that everyone had forgotten that she had a younger brother who had been lost since he was a child. However, she could not forget, every time she thought of that little figure who followed behind her every day, she felt as if a knife was being twisted in her heart. All these years, she was afraid that her mother would be agitated, so she never dared to mention a word in front of her mother. However, she had never forgotten, nor had she given up. As long as she was alive, she would never give up searching. She must find her brother. Chapter 137. Lin Yan was in the middle of her makeup when she heard a commotion outside the makeup room. Duo peeked outside worriedly. I think it's Wei Shufeng. I'm going out to take a look, okay? Lin Yan waved her hands casually and pleaded with Kevin for the umpteenth time. Can't I play a few games? Kevin's face darkened. No, you have to stay in this position. How am I supposed to put on makeup if you lower your head? Lin Yan's heart ached as she muttered under her breath, time is money. It was torture for her to just sit there and do nothing. Kevin glanced at her. Aren't you the least bit concerned that Wei Shufeng is here? Lin Yan replied, why should I be concerned? Kevin replied, he's your rumored boyfriend after all. Lin Yan replied, I have so many rumored boyfriends. He won't make a difference. Kevin was speechless. Indeed, Wei Shufeng had arrived at the set. The newcomer was wearing a black flight jacket and was dressed in a punk heavy metal style. His slightly curly hair was dyed a dazzling reddish brown, and he wore a ruby earring in one ear. His eyebrows were sharp, his nose was tall, and his light golden eyes were full of arrogance and unruliness. Unlike his gentle name, Gentle Breeze, Wei Shufeng exuded an intense, aggressive aura the moment he appeared. He was like a raging storm. The crew, extras, and a few small-time celebrities screamed and screamed at the top of their lungs. Even Duo, who was hiding in the back, almost cried out in surprise. Wei Shufeng was indeed worthy of his nickname, Tropical Storm. Up close, he looked even more handsome in person than he did in photos and on television. His face was simply too handsome. Ah! Oh my God! The Prince of Pop is too handsome. He's too suitable for the role of a wolf puppy. I'll be satisfied as a fan. Producer Feng Anhua, director Jiang Ming, and assistant director Wu Wenhai had arrived personally. Wei Shufeng's handsome face was gloomy. He waved away the coffee that his assistant had brought him impatiently and plopped down on the couch. Feng Anhua's face was full of smiles as he warmly welcomed him. Young Master Wei, you've finally arrived. Hurry up and put on your makeup and change your clothes. I've specially prepared a separate makeup room for you, and there's even a top-notch stylist. Yes, you will definitely be satisfied. Assistant Director Wu Wenhai also quickly echoed. They were naturally aware of Wei Shufeng's outburst yesterday and his Weibo post. They were afraid that he would stir up trouble today. Wei Shufeng crossed his legs and propped them on the coffee table. The corners of his mouth twitched as he sneered coldly. Don't play this game with me. Feng Anhua and the others knew that they were in trouble. Indeed, Wei Shufeng's expression darkened as he said, I only agreed to play this role because of junior sister Xia. Now that you've replaced my raccoon with this woman, you're forcing me to act as a couple with her. How dare you? Wei Shufeng had agreed to play the supporting role because he had assumed that He Shanshan would be the supporting actress. Chapter 138. Feng Anhua quipped, to make up for our mistake, we have arranged another role for Miss He Shanshan. She will be joining the production crew today. Wei Shufeng leaned against the couch. So? That's it? Feng Anhua had guessed that Wei Shufeng would cause a scene yesterday. In order to appease him, he had thought of a way to arrange another role for He Shanshan. However, it seemed like he wouldn't be so easily appeased. The atmosphere was in a deadlock. At this time, the other female artists also walked over. The female lead was Jiang Sifei, who was also the award-winning actress. After joining the rich and powerful House of Millions Media, Jiang Sifei had changed from a shotgun to a cannon. She had changed from head to toe. Jiang Sifei was wearing a luxurious Chanel gown and a Cartier bracelet. Her skin seemed to have been injected with needles, as it was so delicate that it looked as though it would break at the slightest touch. She looked radiant and glamorous, as though she had been a country girl. The pretty girl beside Jiang Sifei was He Shanshan, who had just joined the production crew. She had cried with her cousin, Lin Shuya, for days after Lin Yan had emptied their house. Lin Shuya had told her to stay at home and wait for news. That morning, she had received a call from the producer, Feng Anhua, to apologize and ask her to report to the production crew. She had been chased out of the production crew the last time, but she had been invited back this time. She was elated. Hello, Producer Feng, hello, Director Jiang. He Shanshan greeted them proudly. They had rejected her in the past. Now, they had to invite her back personally. Feng Anhua acted as though nothing had happened as he greeted her warmly. Hello, Miss He. We meet again. Young Master Wei isn't in a good mood today. I hope that Miss He can put in a good word for us in front of him. He Shanshan snorted coldly and didn't reply. Jiang Sifei strode over in her high heels, looking like a senior. She asked Wei Shufeng gently, what's wrong? Who made our young Master Wei unhappy this time? Wei Shufeng was an artist under Triumph Entertainment, while Jiang Sifei had just joined House of Millions Media. House of Millions Media was a subsidiary of Triumph Entertainment. Hence, she and Wei Shufeng were considered artists under the same company. Because of this, she had become closer to Wei Shufeng. If this had happened in the past, she wouldn't have had the right to speak to Wei Shufeng when she was still working at a small, run-down factory like Star Entertainment. He Shanshan, who was holding Jiang Sifei's arm affectionately, snorted softly. Sister Sifei, who else could it be? It must be that ugly and mischievous person. It wasn't the first time that she had caught up with Brother Feng to create hype. This time, she even chased him into the crew. Brother Feng must be disgusted. Acting as a couple with that kind of ugly and vicious woman, who can stand it? He Shanshan's face reddened as she sized up Wei Shufeng. Oh my God. Who would have thought that Wei Shufeng was 100 times more handsome in real life? That face was like a meticulous creation from the hands of God, and it was obvious that he had been influenced by the elite nobles since he was young. Although he looked unruly, there was a noble aura around him, as if he was a prince that walked out of a comic book. He Shanshan couldn't take her eyes off him. At the same time, her eyes were filled with hatred. Chapter 139. Jiang Sifei consoled Wei Shufeng like a caring sister. Shufeng, don't be angry. It's not worth it to hurt your health. Yeah. Brother Feng, if you hurt your health, Sister Shuya will be sad too. He Shanshan hurriedly chimed in and introduced herself. Oh yeah. Brother Feng. I'm He Shanshan, Sister Shuya's cousin. When Wei Shufeng saw Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan, he merely glanced at them. He had no intention of responding to them. It was obvious that he wasn't in a good mood today. He Shanshan looked a little disappointed. However, she regained her composure quickly. She would have a chance to act with Wei Shufeng soon. Jiang Sifei knew that Wei Shufeng was always like this, so she didn't mind. She turned around and looked at Feng Anhua. In a serious tone, she said, "Producer Feng, you've seen for yourself what has happened. This was supposed to be a good show. From the director to the casting, the entire cast was top-notch, but they just had to stick a rat's **t into it. Aren't they trying to disgust us? It's no wonder that Shufeng is so angry. No matter what, you have to give us an explanation. You have to give the fans of the book and the fans an explanation." He Shanshan looked aggrieved and angry. "When I auditioned for the role of Lin Pianruo, everyone said that I acted well. However, Director Jiang didn't choose me. Alright then, I believe in Director Jiang's professionalism. I can only blame my lack of acting skills. However, you are telling me that someone like Lin Pianruo was chosen. What's the meaning of this? Do you think that I'm inferior to Lin Yan? I'm a graduate of the Imperial Film and Television Academy, right?" Now, on account of Wei Shufeng, they had arranged another supporting actress for her. Although this supporting actress scenes weren't bad, she couldn't be compared to Lin Yan's character. Lin Yan's character had many fans, and she would be acting with Wei Shufeng. Many actresses dreamed of acting as a couple with Wei Shufeng. She had heard from Shiya's cousin that Wei Shufeng would be playing a supporting role in the movie. She had originally intended to play the role of Lin Pianruo. She had wanted to make use of Wei Shufeng's fame to make a name for herself. Who would have thought that the role would end up in the hands of that wretched Lin Yan? How could she not be angry? Originally, even though He Shanshan was unhappy, she didn't dare to complain in front of a famous director like Jiang Yiming. After all, Zhou Feng had suddenly left the stage. However, things were different now. With Wei Shufeng taking the lead and Jiang Sifei backing them up, she could definitely add fuel to the fire. At that time, the fourth female lead's position would be empty, and she would be able to take it. Jiang Yiming couldn't tolerate He Shanshan's shameless boasting. He glanced at Wei Shufeng and said, "I personally auditioned for the role. Miss He Shanshan isn't suitable for the role of Lin Pianruo. If you had seen her performance, I'm sure you wouldn't have been satisfied." Before He Shanshan could reply, Wei Shufeng smirked. "Oh. So, does Director Jiang look satisfied with my performance?" Jiang Yiming coughed softly. "Actually, you can try Lin Yan's acting skills yourself." Wei Shufeng quipped, "Director Jiang, are you saying that this pile of **t is not bad? Should I try it first?" Chapter 140. Wei Shufeng sneered coldly. "I'm afraid I don't have such fetishes. Why don't you hire someone else?" Feng Anhua and Jiang Yiming panicked when they heard him. They had hired Wei Shufeng not only because he was suitable for the role of Feng Canyang, but also because they hoped that he would sing the ending song. If they pissed him off, then their ending song would be ruined. Many people had begged Wei Shufeng to sing a song to their heart's content. Yi Shanshan's face was flushed as she watched Wei Shufeng. He was so handsome. Was Wei Shufeng venting his anger on her behalf? He had to be hoping that she would play the role of Lin Pianruo. Hence, Yi Shanshan regained her confidence and said indignantly, "Brother Feng isn't the only one who wouldn't agree. The other artists wouldn't agree either. Acting with such a person would lower our standards. Lin Pianruo isn't just knowledgeable, capable, and good-looking. She outshines all the other supporting actresses. Are you trying to humiliate us by choosing an ugly and vicious monster?" Lin Yan had caught a glimpse of her when she had first debuted, but her beauty had been indescribable. When Jiang Yiming had first chosen the actress, he had placed more emphasis on her aura than her looks. He felt a little weak when he heard Lin Yan's words. He wasn't sure if Lin Yan would be able to handle the role. Of course, all of this was secondary now. Lin Yan's acting skills and looks weren't important anymore. The problem now was if the other artists objected or even refused to perform. That would be a huge problem. One of them was the leading actress, Jiang Sifei, while the other was He Shanshan, who had Wei Shufeng's support. Neither of them was easy to deal with. Feng Anhua patted Jiang Yiming's shoulder and said softly, "Director Jiang, stop hesitating. Let's find someone else. This is the only way." Jiang Yiming's face darkened. "At least give her a chance to audition." Feng Anhua looked helpless. "Director Jiang, even if you want to audition, young Master Wei has to agree first. Look at Wei Shufeng. He hates Lin Yan to the core. How could he be willing to audition with her? If we push him any further, we won't be able to sing the ending song. For a mere fourth female lead, the gains do not make up for the losses." He had initially wanted to make use of Lin Yan to create more hype. However, Lin Yan had ended up kicking Wei Shufeng. He could only give up now. Jiang Yiming still wanted to fight for a chance. He glanced at Wei Shufeng and asked, "Young Master Wei, then, you mean?" Before Wei Shufeng could speak, He Shanshan cut in with a cold expression. "Isn't Brother Feng's intention obvious enough? Of course it's a substitution." Jiang Yiming pondered. "We've already started shooting. If we change people at the last minute, in order to please Wei Shufeng," Jiang Sifei hurriedly added, "isn't there someone who can replace you? Shanshan can replace Lin Yan. I believe Shufeng will be satisfied." Chapter 141. Jiang Sifei stroked her nails nonchalantly as she quipped, "Why don't I quit as well? How dare Lin Yan try to fight with her? She had thousands of ways to crush her." Lin Yan wouldn't even have a chance to retaliate. Duo, who had been watching from the sidelines, stomped her feet anxiously. She was doomed. Jiang Sifei, the award-winning actress, and He Shanshan, who was Wei Shufeng's backer. Was the production crew really going to kick Lin Yan out because of the pressure? She had to look for Sister Yan. Feng Anhua hurriedly tried to calm them down. "Hey, calm down. Don't be anxious. We didn't say that we wouldn't replace her." Wei Shufeng had been in a bad mood, so he had lost his patience after listening to the commotion. His face was dark and gloomy. Damn it. If he wanted someone to disappear, why did he have to nag so much? How dare she create rumors about him and pretend to be his girlfriend? How dare she spread rumors that he was deeply in love with an ugly woman? This was the biggest insult to a good-looking man like him. Not only was he going to kick her out of the production team, but he was also going to kick her out of the entertainment industry. How noisy. All of you, shut up. Wei Shufeng kicked the coffee table and was about to fly into a rage. However, at this moment, his gaze suddenly passed through the quarreling crowd and inadvertently landed not far away in front of him. The door of the opposite dressing room suddenly opened, and a girl walked out from inside. The girl was wearing a classic black dress. The material of the dress was inlaid with black feathers, and the hem of the dress was swaying with delicate black feather tassels. Her slender and fair neck was adorned with a lace choker, and her waist-length hair was curled into a lazy, seaweed-like curl by the stylist. The space between the girl's dark green brows was cold and distant like frost. Her black eyes seemed to reflect the starry night sky, and her delicate lips were like poppies in full bloom. As she walked, it seemed like there were thousands of red spider lilies blooming under her feet. She was so beautiful that it made one's heart palpitate. Wei Shufeng felt as though an arrow had pierced through his heart. His mind was filled with only one thought, 10,000 years in one glance. The stylist, Kevin, chased after the girl furiously with a brush in his hand. "Lin Yan. Stop right there. It wasn't over yet. And the makeup powder. The makeup powder hasn't been applied yet. Lin Yan? She was. Lin Yan?" Feng Anhua and He Shanshan were engaged in a heated argument, so they hadn't noticed Lin Yan at all. In the end, Feng Anhua decided to ask Lin Yan to leave the production. Otherwise, Wei Shufeng would wreak havoc. Feng Anhua walked over to Wei Shufeng and said, "Miss Jiang and Miss He have both insisted on withdrawing from the cast. I'm in a difficult position. I've thought about it carefully, and both of you have a point. since everyone is so adamant. In that case, Feng Anhua had suddenly walked over and blocked his line of sight. Wei Shufeng reached out to push Feng Anhua away as he blurted out, "Let's get them out of the cast then." Feng Anhua, all right. After saying those words, he suddenly realized that something was amiss. Ask them to withdraw? Ask Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan to withdraw? Chapter 142. Young Master Wei, this, Feng Anhua glanced at Wei Shufeng, startled. Had he heard wrongly? Was Wei Shufeng asking Lin Yan or Qin Shanshan and Jiang Sifei to leave? Why do these words sound a little off? Qin Shanshan and Jiang Sifei hadn't heard what Wei Shufeng had said, but they didn't think too much about it. They instinctively assumed that he was trying to chase Lin Yan away. Feng Anhua, who was more cautious, wanted to probe further. However, Wei Shufeng's attention was completely focused on the person behind him. Is this Lin Yan? Wei Shufeng's expression changed several times as he stared at the girl. Although he had never seen Lin Yan in person, he had seen her photo. How could the person in front of him be the same person in the photo? Was that a picture? That was a lie. Feng Anhua, Jiang Yiming, and the others followed Wei Shufeng's line of sight and turned to look at the door. Their eyes lit up. The girl before them looked like Lin Pianruo, who had just walked out of a book. Besides her breathtaking beauty, her unique aura was noble and aloof. She was like a rose with thorns on a snowy night. What attracted people the most was the confidence and pride in the girl's eyes, which showed that she was not afraid of any loneliness or coldness. Jiang Yiming was so emotional that he almost burst into tears. Lin Pianruo. Lin Pianruo had come to life because of Lin Yan. He had never imagined that Lin Yan's makeup would be so perfect. Even her demeanor and aura were perfect. She was a perfect match for the character. Jiang Yiming was excited, but in the next second, his face darkened. As for Wei Shufeng, Jiang Yiming felt that he had to fight for her. Jiang Yiming strode over to Wei Shufeng. Young Master Wei, Lin Yan. Before Jiang Yiming could finish his sentence, Wei Shufeng snapped out of his daze. He glared at Jiang Yiming as he pulled Feng Anhua over. His expression was murderous as he threatened, "Don't tell her a word about what happened just now." Jiang Yiming replied, "I don't understand." "What are you talking about, young Master Wei?" Feng Anhua asked, "Her?" Wei Shufeng looked impatient. "Lin Yan." Jiang Yiming, "What is it? What do you mean you can't say a word?" F***CK. Wei Shufeng was on the verge of exploding. Fortunately, Feng Anhua glanced at Lin Yan and his eyes lit up. He hurriedly said, Oh, I understand. Don't worry, young Master Wei." Not divulging. He would never reveal a single word. Nothing happened just now. Young Master Wei, you have nothing against Miss Lin. We are peacefully and amicably discussing the details of the next shoot. Wei Shufeng's expression softened a little as he adjusted his collar. At least one of you has a brain. Feng Anhua was surprised to realize that he had guessed correctly. He stole glances at Lin Yan as he said, "Young Master Wei, shall I introduce Miss Lin Yan to you?" "Hurry up." Wei Shufeng glared at him. Yes. Feng Anhua said as he led Wei Shufeng over. Chapter 143. The corners of Feng Anhua's mouth twitched in astonishment. He had never imagined that young Master Wei would be so unconfident. Feng Anhua gave him a thumbs up. "Young Master Wei, you're so handsome. There won't be a problem." Wei Shufeng shut his eyes and inhaled deeply. "You know what to say later, right?" Feng Anhua replied, "I know. Of course I know. I have to know." "Don't worry." Feng Anhua walked in front of Wei Shufeng and strode towards Lin Yan. Every time he got closer to the girl, his breathing quickened and his breathing quickened. They looked so alike, could it be her? Meanwhile, Kevin had forced Lin Yan to put on her makeup. Lin Yan turned to Duo and asked, Duo, what did you want to tell me? Duo had wanted to rush in to report to Lin Yan, but Lin Yan had already come out. She looked completely different. She had only seen half of Lin Yan's makeup. She had never imagined that Lin Yan would look so stunning when she was done. Duo was momentarily stunned when she saw Lin Yan. She had almost forgotten what she was talking about. Duo snapped back to her senses and hastily quipped, Sister Yan, everyone is in a frenzy. Wei Shufeng has demanded an explanation as soon as he arrived. Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan have Wei Shufeng's support, so they have joined forces to threaten the production crew. If they don't chase you away, they will quit. Director Jiang wants to speak up for you, but he's afraid of Wei Shufeng's power. Feng Anhua is an opportunist, so he will definitely sacrifice you to appease Wei Shufeng. I'm afraid that we're really doomed. Duo was wailing incessantly when producer Feng suddenly darted forward with a warm smile. He gazed at Lin Yan with an exaggerated expression. Oh my! Lin Yan, you're so beautiful. You suit Lin Pianruo perfectly. We're so lucky to have such an outstanding actress on board. Huh? Lin Yan was startled by Feng Anhua's sudden enthusiasm. Producer Feng, you're flattering me. It's all thanks to the stylist's amazing skills. The corners of Feng Anhua's mouth twitched. Who would use such words to describe themselves? Ahem. Wei Shufeng's eyes were glued to the girl. He cleared his throat and urged her impatiently. Feng Anhua hurriedly led Lin Yan forward. Come here, Lin Yan. Let me introduce you to someone. This is the actor you're going to be acting with today. Wei Shufeng's arrogant and frivolous demeanor was nowhere to be seen. The boy stood there obediently as he stared at her with sparkling golden eyes. Even his unruly, reddish-brown hair seemed to have become docile as he greeted her politely. Hello, I'm Wei Shufeng. He was. Wei Shufeng? Didn't Duo describe Wei Shufeng as a hot-tempered tyrant just now? This attitude, this feeling, is there something wrong? Lin Yan was even more confused now. She instinctively replied, Hello, Lin Yan. Chapter 144. Sister Yan, Lin Yan was speechless. Duo was speechless. Duo was dumbfounded as she stood there in a daze. What? What was going on? Why did Wei Shufeng look like a completely different person? It felt as though a raging Tibetan mastiff had transformed into an obedient and adorable Samoyed. If Wei Shufeng had a tail, it would have been wagging wildly. Duo swallowed her saliva in confusion. What is going on? Kevin scanned Wei Shufeng from head to toe as he raised an eyebrow. What else could it be? Men. Wei Shufeng's face darkened as he sneered. Duo was speechless. Besides Duo, Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan were equally astonished. Jiang Sifei had deliberately delayed Lin Yan's photo shoot on the first day. Hence, this was Lin Yan's first time getting her makeup done. Jiang Sifei had never imagined that Lin Yan's makeup would be so stunning. She had to admit that she had been so jealous that she had almost gone crazy when she had first seen Lin Yan. Jiang Sifei, who had always cared about her looks, felt as though a thorn had pierced her heart. Fortunately, it didn't matter how pretty Lin Yan's face was. When Jiang Sifei saw that producer Feng and Wei Shufeng had walked over, she hurriedly followed them in her high heels. He Shanshan hurriedly caught up with them, ready to watch a good show. Jiang Sifei stood there arrogantly. Producer Feng, isn't it time to ask Lin Yan to leave the production? He Shanshan chimed in hastily, Producer Feng, even Brother Feng has spoken. Are you going to let someone like her stay and be an eyesore to Brother Feng? The moment the two of them walked over, Wei Shufeng's adorable and obedient face darkened. However, Lin Yan was around, so he suppressed his emotions and shot Feng Anhua a glance. His murderous gaze almost scared Feng Anhua out of his wits. Feng Anhua hastily pulled Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan aside. Producer Feng, why did you drag us here? What's the meaning of this? When is that woman going to leave? He Shanshan asked in displeasure. She had already run out of patience. He Shanshan had assumed that Wei Shufeng had spoken to Feng Anhua and Jiang Yiming privately to ask Lin Yan to leave the production crew. However, Feng Anhua and Jiang Yiming still wanted to protect Lin Yan. Leave? Feng Anhua sneered coldly. Who said that Lin Yan wants to leave? Mind your own business and stop worrying. You. Producer Feng. Do you know who you're talking to? He Shanshan was furious. Jiang Sifei frowned as well. Producer Feng, you better think this through. Is it worth it for Lin Yan? Feng Anhua, who already had someone backing him up, did not care about the two of them. He glanced at them and smiled faintly. Movie Queen Jiang, please don't threaten me. With your role, I can easily find someone to replace you. If you wish to withdraw, then please do so. Feng Anhua glanced at He Shanshan and said, of course, Miss He Shanshan, you too. Chapter 145. How could Jiang Sifei and He Shanshan let the matter rest? He Shanshan immediately wanted to complain to Wei Shufeng, but Feng Anhua seemed to know what they were up to. He immediately said, we are going to start filming in a closed-door setting. Anyone who is not involved should leave first. He called for the crew to clear the place. Jiang Sifei gritted her teeth and sneered coldly, Producer Feng, since you insist, don't blame me. Let's go. He Shanshan stomped her feet angrily and followed them. After they left, Jiang Yiming, who was still in a daze, walked over. Old Feng, what happened? Feng Anhua's face was beaming with joy. What do you mean, what's going on? Will they be alright if they let Jiang Sifei go just like that? What happened to Wei Shufeng? Why did his attitude change so suddenly? Jiang Yiming's mind was filled with questions. Did Wei Shufeng think that Lin Yan's style is good and change his mind? That's not all. Feng Anhua patted Jiang Yiming's shoulder helplessly. Old Jiang, haven't you figured it out yet? Forget it. You should focus on filming. Just take it that Wei Shufeng has changed his mind and stopped fooling around. Don't worry about anything else. Leave it to me. Oh yeah, what's the first scene today? Asked Feng Anhua. At this point, Jiang Yiming looked worried. Feng Canyang and Lin Pianrua will have to interact with each other tacitly. I'm afraid it'll be difficult for them to do so in their current state. For example, Lin Pianrua will return late and Feng Canyang will throw a tantrum. Will Wei Shufeng be able to act like this? Feng Anhua glanced at Wei Shufeng, who was trying his best to act obedient. He chuckled and replied, I don't think it will be a problem. In fact, Feng Anhua was a little surprised by this matter. After all, he had heard rumors that Wei Shufeng had been wooing Lin Shuya. How had he fallen in love with Lin Yan all of a sudden? However, Lin Yan's appearance had indeed been stunning. Given young Master Wei's character, it was understandable that he had fallen in love with her at first sight. However, he was puzzled. Even if Wei Shufeng had fallen in love with Lin Yan, he could easily get any woman he wanted. Was there a need to be so nervous? He hadn't expected Wei Shufeng's attitude to change so drastically. Before filming even started, he had probably already gotten into Feng Canyang's character. Sister Yan, I've been looking forward to working with you. Sister Yan, what about you? Wei Shufeng addressed her as Sister Yan in a friendly manner. His eyes sparkled as he gazed at her. What shocked her the most was that he actually said that he looked forward to working with her. Lin Yan was completely dumbfounded. Was Duo hallucinating, or had Wei Shufeng taken the wrong medicine? Wei Shufeng was completely different from what Duo had described. Instinctively, Lin Yan glanced at Duo in confusion. What was going on? Plenty's reply was a face filled with even more question marks. Lin Yan was speechless. She felt that Wei Shufeng must have taken the wrong medicine. After all, he had posted on Weibo to diss her last night. Why did his attitude change so drastically today? Chapter 146. Lin Yan had already made up her mind to keep a safe distance from the people on her death list. However, she had never imagined that Wei Shufeng would be so unpredictable. Fortunately, at that moment, the crew member walked over and said, "Young Master Wei, can we start the styling now? We have prepared a private makeup room for you and a top stylist." Wei Shufeng frowned slightly. "A private makeup room?" Yes. Don't worry. We have already prepared a makeup room. No one will disturb you." The staff member nodded. Wei Shufeng replied, "There's no need for that. Let's do it here." "Huh? Here?" the staff member asked in a daze. Wei Shufeng replied, "Yes. Also, you don't have to arrange a stylist for me." "Who is Sister Yen's stylist?" "Just get him to do the makeup." The staff member was dumbfounded and didn't know how to respond. Everyone knew that Wei Shufeng was a young master and that he was very demanding. They had already cleaned up the makeup room and prepared the stylist for a long time. All that was left was a bath and incense. However, not only did he want to put on makeup, but he also wanted to hire an ordinary stylist. Wei Shufeng's eyes gleamed. "Why? Is there a problem?" The staff member didn't know how to answer him. Feng Anhua walked over and said, "No problem." "Of course not." He turned to the staff member and said, "Just do whatever young Master Wei asks you to do." "Can't you even do this?" Okay. I'll make the arrangements now." The staff member scurried away in confusion. Wei Shufeng sat down beside Lin Yan and started to put on makeup. Kevin was the stylist. Kevin was very familiar with Wei Shufeng's reputation. When he heard that Wei Shufeng had asked him to do the styling, he couldn't help but feel anxious. Before he put on makeup, he asked cautiously, "Young Master Wei, do you have any requirements for the makeup and styling?" Wei Shufeng glanced at the girl from the corner of his eyes as he stroked his chin and muttered to himself, "Is there a style that can mesmerize the girl next door?" Kevin was speechless. He really wanted to know how Wei Shufeng had managed to change his attitude towards Lin Yan without any qualms. Furthermore, he had even managed to say those words. His face, doesn't it hurt? The corners of Kevin's mouth twitched. "Young Master Wei, based on what I know, you posted something on Weibo last night. I can help you recall the content. Are you blind?" Wei Shufeng raised an eyebrow. "So what? I'm just blind, can't I?" Kevin was speechless. Sure, while Wei Shufeng was putting on makeup, Duo was nagging at Lin Yan. This isn't right. I met Wei Shufeng when I was working on set. No one is more difficult to please than him. The temperature of the coffee has to be precise, and the food has to be prepared by a private restaurant. He also has all sorts of ridiculous requests. How could he be so easy to talk to? Lin Yan didn't know which one was more reliable, but she couldn't be bothered. While they waited, Lin Yan couldn't wait any longer. She clicked on her phone and focused all her attention on choosing a hero. Chapter 147. She didn't have enough time. If she couldn't improve her level, she would have to pay a fine. Wasn't she taking too long to put on makeup? Lin Yan had just started the game when Assistant Director Wu Wenhai walked over. He frowned when he saw that Lin Yan was playing a game. "Hey, Lin Yan. What's wrong with you? Filming is about to start. Why aren't you getting ready? Why are you still playing?" Wei Shufeng's hair was covered with small clips. He was in the middle of putting on makeup, but his attention was on Lin Yan. His face darkened when he saw her. "Sister Yan likes to play games, so just let her. Why are you causing trouble? Don't you know that people hate to be interrupted?" Then, he turned to Lin Yan. "Sister Yan, what game are you playing? Can I join you?" Lin Yan was speechless. Duo was speechless. Was there something wrong with the plot? Shouldn't Lin Yan be the one pestering Wei Shufeng and trying to create a scandal? Why did it seem like the exact opposite? Duo wasn't the only one who sensed that something was amiss. They had thought that Wei Shufeng would fly into a rage and that Lin Yan would have to bear the consequences. Who knew that Wei Shufeng would be so gentle and polite to Lin Yan? No, he wasn't gentle and polite at all. Wei Shufeng was as obedient as a bunny in front of Lin Yan. Assistant Director Wu Wenhai was also dumbfounded by this ancestor's scolding. Huh? Wei Shufeng lowered his voice and hissed, "Why? Don't you understand me?" Wu Wenhai jumped in fright and bowed hastily to Lin Yan. All right. All right. Lin Yan. Continue playing. Continue playing, Wu Wenhai was inexplicably scolded. He scratched his head in confusion and ran to find Feng Anhua. Old Feng, what's going on? Hadn't Wei Shufeng been kicking them out earlier? How had he changed so suddenly? Producer Feng, who wouldn't reveal Wei Shufeng's true intentions, told Wu Wenhai solemnly, regardless of the situation, you just have to know that you can't offend Lin Yan. Wu Wenhai was speechless. Wei Shufeng's makeup was done in no time. He just had to change into his costume. After some time, Wei Shufeng changed and walked out of the fitting room. Wei Shufeng had already changed out of his heavy metal punk outfit. He was now wearing a clean white t-shirt, light blue jeans, and white sneakers. He had taken off all the necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. Even his precious reddish-brown hair had been dyed black by Kevin. His soft and smooth black hair made him look even more obedient. The heavy makeup on his face had also been removed. It seemed that he had only put on a layer of foundation and applied some makeup on his eyebrows. He looked fresh and clean. Wei Shufeng's facial features were perfect and exquisite. Without the heavy makeup, he looked like a freshly minted university student. When he smiled, he could melt a person's heart. The staff at the side couldn't help but scream. Ah ah ah. Oh my God. Wei Shufeng's puppy look was against the rules. Who can withstand this? What an arsonist. Ah. Even Director Jiang Yiming was satisfied. Very good, very good. This style is very suitable. She hadn't expected Wei Shufeng to be willing to dye his hair. Chapter 148. Wei Shufeng sprinted towards Lin Yan as though he was presenting a treasure. Sister Yan, do I look good? F***CK. Why was he here again? Don't come near me. If you have something to say, just say it. The moment Wei Shufeng approached, Lin Yan grabbed her phone and retreated 10 steps at the speed of light. She had to maintain a distance from him. No one could create any scandals about her. Wei Shufeng's eyes dimmed when he saw Lin Yan's guarded posture. His tail, which had been wagging non-stop, seemed to droop. He looked as though he was a heartbroken pet that had been abandoned by its owner. The staff members at the side looked at each other in dismay. From just now, they had all been confused. Feng Anhua hurried over to Lin Yan and said, Lin Yan, we are about to start filming. You should get to know young Master Wei first. You don't have to be so distant. Wei Shufeng's ears perked up when he heard her. Lin Yan hastily replied, it's fine. I can get into character quickly. I promise that there won't be a problem. Wei Shufeng was speechless. Feng Anhua quipped, but I'm afraid there might be a problem with young Master Wei. Lin Yan quipped, how could that be? Young Master Wei is so good at acting. There can't be a problem. Feng Anhua was at a loss for words. He couldn't possibly say that Wei Shufeng's acting wasn't good. How strange. Why wasn't Lin Yan playing by the rules? Shouldn't she be trying to pester Wei Shufeng? Why was she hiding faster than a mouse? Jiang Yiming suggested, why don't we start filming now? If we delay any longer, we won't have enough time. Feng Anhua pondered for a moment and decided to start filming now. Lin Yan wouldn't be able to hide from him. Young Master Wei, why don't we start filming now? You and Miss Lin will be filming together. Feng Anhua probed. Wei Shufeng glanced at Lin Yan obediently. I'm fine with anything. I'll listen to Sister Yan. Lin Yan was speechless. The corners of Feng Anhua's mouth twitched as he glanced at Lin Yan. Miss Lin? Sure. I can start filming anytime. Lin Yan nodded hastily. He had to finish filming as soon as possible so that he could stay away from danger. Jiang Yiming walked over and told them about the show. Shufeng, let me tell you something. In the show, Lin Pianruo is the woman you love the most. You pour all your love and passion into her. Hence, when you look at her, your eyes have to be passionate and passionate. When she ignores you, you have to look hurt, aggrieved, and angry. You have to imagine her as your goddess. Jiang Yiming coughed softly, as though he was afraid that Wei Shufeng would flip out again. I know it's difficult for you, but you can give it a try. Assistant Director Wu Wenhai also said, I remember that you have an actress that you like very much, right? I think you even posted something about her on Weibo. It wasn't a secret that Wei Shufeng had a goddess that he was obsessed with. It's not an actress, Wei Shufeng replied solemnly. Wu Wenhai hurriedly slapped his head. Oh, right, I remember now. She's a female racer who never shows her face. She's very good at racing and is internationally famous. I've seen you on Weibo before, young Master Wei, often posting her race tickets, almost never missing a single one. Chapter 149. Everyone knew that Wei Shufeng had a goddess. She wasn't from the entertainment industry and she was a racer, so his fans weren't averse to her. Instead, they thought that Wei Shufeng's beauty was unique and adorable. Many of them were fans of that female racer, just like Wei Shufeng. Wei Shufeng gazed at Lin Yan in a daze as he muttered, I don't even have to imagine, she was indeed. Lin Yan glanced at Wei Shufeng unconsciously. Wei Shufeng chased after a celebrity? And he was chasing after someone in the same industry? A racer? Could it be someone she knew? Jiang Yiming assumed that Wei Shufeng meant that there was no problem. Hence, he hurriedly explained to Lin Yan, you should know Lin Pianruo's character, right? She only cares about her career. She doesn't believe in love, nor does she need it. To her, Fang Canyang is just a companion she keeps by her side to kill time. She doesn't love Fang Canyang and has no romantic feelings for him. You have to control your emotions. You have to make it seem like you have feelings for him, but you have to be heartless. Do you understand me? Wei Shufeng's face darkened with every word Jiang Yiming said. What kind of lousy script is this? Feng Anhua comforted him. Young Master Wei, this script was adapted from a novel. Lin Yan nodded and replied, Oh, I understand. Lin Pianruo is an emotionless money-making machine. As for Fang Canyang, she doesn't care about him at all. Jiang Yiming muttered, I guess so. Although Lin Yan's words sounded crude, they were indeed accurate. Wei Shufeng was speechless. I want to change the script. Duo stood aside and muttered anxiously, Isn't this too difficult? Who would be able to ignore Wei Shufeng's words? The other crew members shared Duo's thoughts. F***CK. Will Lin Yan try to take advantage of Wei Shufeng later? But why does it seem like Lin Yan is avoiding Wei Shufeng? She must be up to something. She must be playing hard to get. Then what's with Wei Xiao Wang's abnormal attitude? Why do I feel like they are the complete opposite of what the rumors say? Hearing this, the other staff members also chose to remain silent, their faces full of puzzlement. After that, Jiang Yiming clapped his hands and said, All right, everyone, get into position. We will begin the first scene of the day. As soon as he finished speaking, all the staff were ready. The clerk held the board in his hand. Round 37, 3, 2, 1. Action. Lin Yan shut her eyes and inhaled deeply. The moment the staff announced the start of the show, the carefree and casual look on her face vanished instantly. Her expression was as cold as ice. She held a document in one hand, her coat in the other, and her phone in her ear as she strode out of the house. Then, while talking on the phone, she changed into slippers and walked into the living room. At this moment, the camera changed direction and switched to the sofa in the living room. On the sofa, Fong Kanyang, who had been waiting for Lin Pianruo to return, fell asleep because he was too tired. Fong Kanyang was wearing a white t-shirt and jeans. His silky black hair was a little messy, and he was hugging a pillow in his arms. When he heard the commotion, he got up from the sofa in a daze. Chapter 150. Wei Shufeng watched as Lin Pianruo changed into her slippers and entered the house. He watched as she hung her jacket on the hanger and hurried into the study to look for some documents. Then, he watched as she hurried into the bedroom to search for something. From the beginning to the end, his gaze had been following her around like a puppy. When she was done, she hung up the phone and walked to the window. She lit a cigarette and read all sorts of documents on her iPad. From start to finish, she didn't even look at him. Fong Kanyang's expression changed from one of infatuation to one of resentment and anger. At the same time, Jiang Yiming couldn't help but glance at Lin Yan. Stop. 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 Lin Yan, you acted well, but your attitude towards Wei Shufeng was a little too much. Not only did you lose your heart, but you also lost your kidney. Even though you don't love Fong Kanyang, you still like him. Wei Shufeng was speechless. Jiang Yiming's words pierced Wei Shufeng's heart. Lin Yan replied, "Oh. I'm sorry. Let me try again." Lin Yan couldn't avoid Wei Shufeng at all costs, so she couldn't put herself in his shoes. However, she was smart enough to think of an idea. She decided to imagine Wei Shufeng as a kitten. To Lin Pianruo, Wei Shufeng's existence was no different from a kitten that could flirt with her. The filming resumed. Fong Kanyang's face darkened as he questioned her. Where did you go? Why did you come back so late? Lin Pianruo didn't lift her head as she continued to read her iPad. Company dinner. Fong Kanyang clenched his fists. Dinner? Then where did the perfume on your body come from? Do you have a dog's nose? Lin Pianruo chuckled softly. I chatted with Chen Jing for a while. Fong Kanyang flared up. Chen Jing. It's Chen Jing again. Do you need to be so close to him to chat? Do you like him? Lin Pianruo replied, I like you. Lin Pianruo gazed at the young man as though he was a kitten that had messed up its owner's wool. She couldn't help but like him. Jiang Yiming's face was filled with excitement. His intuition was right. You. Wei Shufeng fell into a daze when he saw the doting look in her eyes. His cheeks flushed red. This scene had no trace of acting at all. It was too natural. Ka. Very good. Jiang Yiming shouted. The scene had only taken 2 takes. Both Wei Shufeng and Lin Yan's performances had been on point. It had been so smooth that he had almost burst into tears. After the director announced the end of the scene, Lin Yan regained her usual expressionless look. The staff members who had been prepared for a long period of time could not react in time. It's over? I didn't expect Lin Yan to be so good at acting. It's indeed a little unexpected. Not only is the style appropriate, but the acting is also passable. Director, are we done? Lin Yan strode over to Jiang Yiming. Jiang Yiming's face lit up with joy. Yes, yes. You guys are cooperating very well. Wei Shufeng leaned over and glanced at the monitor. Is that so? I think it's just a so-so. Not good at all. Let's reshoot it a few times. Lin Yan frowned. Why not? It's really good. Wei Shufeng corrected himself instantly. Oh, I think so too. Jiang Yiming was speechless. Chapter 151. Lin Yan seriously suspected that Wei Shufeng was suffering from schizophrenia. After the shoot, Lin Yan returned to the makeup room to remove her makeup. Oh my god. You have to remove your makeup after putting it on for so long. Why is it so troublesome to be a woman? Lin Yan had just sat down when she heard footsteps behind her. Wei Shufeng had followed her again. Ever since she had come out of the makeup room, Wei Shufeng had never left her line of sight. It was as though he was afraid that she would run away. Lin Yan cautiously stood 10 steps away from him. Mr. Wei, what's the matter? Wei Shufeng's attitude seemed to have softened. He gazed at her calmly and said, Sister Yan, you can call me Xiaofeng. Lin Yan frowned and decided to get straight to the point. Mr. Wei, I'm going to get straight to the point. You should know that I have a criminal record and that there are rumors about us. You even responded to them last night. I think, as a normal person, no matter what, you should keep your distance from me, and I also. Before Lin Yan could finish her sentence, Wei Shufeng lowered his head and said, I'm not a normal person. Lin Yan was startled. Wei Shufeng replied, I'm blind. Lin Yan was speechless. Wei Shufeng inhaled deeply and gazed at her intently. Sister Yan. You really don't remember me? Lin Yan was taken aback. What do you mean? Wei Shufeng sounded as though they had known each other in the past. However, she hadn't known Wei Shufeng at all. Wei Shufeng looked anxious when he realized that Lin Yan didn't seem to remember him. 3 years ago, in Boston, Massachusetts, in Country M, there was a charity dinner organized by the International Automobile Federation. The organizers wanted to raise funds for children, so many famous racers donated their items to be auctioned off. Lin Yan looked as though she was reminiscing. She had an impression of that auction. She had been there at the time. She had auctioned off a more memorable necklace. It was a small bronze plate with the time of her first official competition after coming abroad. That night, the necklace had been sold at the highest price. Hence, she had a deep impression of it. Why would Wei Shufeng mention this all of a sudden? Could it be that he also went? Wei Shufeng stared at her for a long time. When he was certain that she couldn't remember him, his eyes reddened. Sister Yan, you auctioned off a bronze plate with the date of your first competition in Country M. I managed to bid for it. As Lin Yan stared at him in shock, Wei Shufeng lifted his collar and took out a bronze token that was the size of a coin. Finally, the young man clutched the necklace with his fingers and stared at her, enunciating each word. Do you really not remember me at all? Yeva. Lin Yan was speechless. The moment Lin Yan heard Yeva's name, her face fell. She stared blankly at the necklace on Wei Shufeng's neck. Holy shit. Even if she racked her brains, she would never have guessed. Wei Shufeng. Was he her fan? She actually had such magical creatures as fans? Of course, that wasn't the point. The point was that this was too much of a coincidence. Wei Shufeng put the necklace down when Lin Yan remained silent. Suddenly, he tugged at the corner of his shirt and tore it off right in front of her. Lin Yan was scared out of her wits. What was going on? Why was he talking all of a sudden? Why did he take off his shirt? She was an upright actress and racer. She would never be a fan. Chapter 152. When Lin Yan remained silent, Wei Shufeng put down the necklace and started to take off his clothes in front of her. Lin Yan was scared out of her wits. What was going on? Why was he talking all of a sudden? Why was he taking off his clothes? She was an upright racer. She would never do such a thing to a fan. If anyone were to see this, she wouldn't be able to clear her name even if she jumped into the Yellow River. Lin Yan's first reaction was to dash to Wei Shufeng's back and lock the door. After she locked the door, Lin Yan realized that she looked even weirder after she had locked the door. There was an eerie silence in the makeup room. Lin Yan turned around stiffly. When she did, she saw Wei Shufeng standing there with his upper body bare. The scene was unbearable. What? What was going on? Lin Yan placed her hand on her forehead. Wei Shufeng. Calm down and listen to me. Wei Shufeng gazed intently at the girl's eyes as he strode over to her. He pointed at his waist and said, "Don't you remember this signature?" Lin Yan's eyes followed his gaze and landed on his waist. There was a tattoo of Yeva's name. "I didn't have any paper, so I asked you to sign your name on my body. Later on, I couldn't bear to wash it off. In the end, I tattooed your signature on my body. That way, it will always be there," Wei Shufeng said slowly. Lin Yan gazed at her fan. It would be a lie to say that she wasn't touched. When she had competed overseas, she had devoted herself to the competition and hadn't paid attention to the outside world. The charity dinner had been the only event she had been willing to attend. That had been the first time she had realized that she had a fan who loved and supported her so much. However, how was she supposed to face her former fans in this state? Lin Yan collected her thoughts and glanced at him. "I'm sorry, Wei Shufeng. I think you got the wrong person. I'm not who you said I am." "You're not?" Wei Shufeng's face fell. "You've seen Yeva before. Are you sure that she looks like me?" asked Lin Yan calmly. She recalled everything that had happened. She had been wearing a mask and a cap, as usual. She hadn't shown her face in front of Wei Shufeng. Wei Shufeng pursed his lips and shook his head. She rarely shows her face. Other than the racers who race with her, almost no one has seen her face. When I saw her, she was wearing a mask and a cap, but, your eyes, Wei Shufeng lifted his head and met the girl's eyes. Your eyes are exactly the same as hers. I won't be wrong this time. Oh. Wei Shufeng sounded as though he had made a few mistakes in the past. Lin Yan replied helplessly, "Since you've never met her, how can you be so sure that I'm her just because we have similar eyes? Also, my resume and information are open and transparent. If you think about it carefully, you should know that I can't be the person you're talking about." Chapter 153. Lin Yan coughed softly. "That's because I've heard of her name before. The scandal of her using banned drugs has spread like wildfire. Besides, hasn't she been banned from racing forever?" Wei Shufeng's face fell when he heard Lin Yan. The passion in his eyes froze. "Shut up. What do you know? How could you say that about her? What *T scandal? What banned drugs? Had they seen it with their own eyes?" She was practically competing with her life on the line. She flew around almost the entire year and participated in 168 competitions, big and small. She was invincible in all the regional level competitions, and in 37 of them, she won the championship 30 times, the second place 5 times, and the third place 2 times. She walked all the way to the pinnacle of the world. With her strength, did she need to take forbidden drugs? A racer needs to be clear-headed and calm during a race. If she gets too excited during a race, she might cause an accident. Why would she take drugs? Only a rookie racer with insufficient stamina and energy would do such a thing. Although Yeva is a girl, her stamina, energy, experience, and skills are far superior to those bastards. Motherf *Ker, do those people who spread rumors have any brains? Do they even have any common sense? The more Wei Shufeng spoke, the more agitated he became. In the end, his eyes were bloodshot. Lin Yan listened to Wei Shufeng's words with an indescribable feeling in her heart. She had made too many enemies. When the scandal had spread, everyone had kicked her while she was down. She hadn't expected to hear Wei Shufeng say such things after so long. "I'm sorry," Lin Yan apologized. Wei Shufeng inhaled deeply as though he had calmed down. Then, he squatted down and buried his head in his hands. He hugged his knees and leaned against the couch without a word. Lin Yan scratched her head and picked up the clothes on the floor. "Put on your clothes first." Wei Shufeng raised his head and glared at Lin Yan. You aren't her. Why did you pretend to be her? Did you do it on purpose? Are you coveting my body? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Young master, why did you change your attitude so quickly? Lin Yan quipped, you mistook me for Yeva and took off your clothes for me to see. Shut up. A person like you is not worthy of calling her by her name. Wei Shufeng glared at her. Why do your eyes look so much like hers? Why do your eyes look so much like hers? Who gave the approval? Wei Shufeng's face was filled with, you're not worthy, and I won't allow it. He wanted to dig her eyes out. Lin Yan sighed helplessly. She was indeed an unreasonable person. Lin Yan was about to say something, but Wei Shufeng buried his head between his knees and fell silent. After a long while, the young man's low and hoarse voice could be heard. She disappeared after that competition. Someone said that she returned to China. I've been asking around and looking for her for a long time, but I still couldn't find her. Where did she go? She wouldn't do something stupid, would she? The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. She's already an adult. What else can she do? If she can't race, she can still do something else. Maybe. I'm Yeva. Wei Shufeng turned to glare at her. Shut up. Stop insulting my goddess. If you're her, I'll jump out of this window. Chapter 154. Wei Shufeng snatched his shirt back from her and put it on. He had regained his arrogant demeanor. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, he was back to normal. Lin Yan removed her makeup and went to the fitting room to change into her own clothes. When she came out, Wei Shufeng was still sitting on the couch in a daze, as though he had suffered a huge blow. Lin Yan lowered her eyes and sighed softly. If he knew that the goddess he had loved and supported had fallen to such a sorry state, he would have suffered an even greater blow. Young Master Wei, if there's nothing else, I'll make a move first. Lin Yan picked up her phone and bag as she bade him farewell. Wei Shufeng, who was still in a state of depression, remained silent. Lin Yan pursed her lips and pushed the door open. Duo had just arranged for a car to pick Lin Yan up. When she came out, the two of them walked out of the set. Sister Yan. Duo hesitated. Lin Yan asked, what? Duo coughed softly and asked worriedly, you were in there with Wei Shufeng for a long time. Did you do anything to him? Why aren't you concerned about your artist's safety? Why didn't you ask him what he did to me? Lin Yan snapped. He had merely wanted to show her a tattoo. Why did he have to strip? Wasn't that scary? Duo was speechless. In the past, Duo would have lashed out at her. However, after such a magical day, she wasn't so sure anymore. Lin Yan had just reached the door when she bumped into Jiang Sifei and Yi Shanshan, who were surrounded by a group of reporters. Yi Shanshan was yelling angrily at the reporters. That's right. I was the original actress who played Lin Pianruo. Lin Yan snatched my role away from me. Today, she is filming a scene with Brother Feng. She has been harassing Brother Feng relentlessly under the guise of filming. We really had no choice but to watch Brother Feng being bullied by that woman to this extent. Hearing Yi Shanshan's words, the reporters went into an uproar. Oh my God! How could that woman be so despicable? How will the remaining male celebrities dare to join the cast? Jiang Sifei chimed in, we really don't know. For the sake of the other artists, Shanshan and I have discussed this with the production crew. However, I reckon that Lin Yan has been pestering them relentlessly. She threatened them with the contract and refused to leave. The production crew couldn't do anything about it. Some of the female reporters were Wei Shufeng's fans. When they heard this, they were infuriated. His idol had been bullied to this extent. How could he tolerate it? Suddenly, a sharp-eyed reporter spotted Lin Yan standing not too far away. Lin Yan. It is Lin Yan. All the reporters swarmed over to Lin Yan and Duo. Their microphones and cameras almost hit Lin Yan's face. Lin Yan. Someone in the cast said that you used filming to harass Wei Shufeng. Do you have anything to say? Are you going to tie Wei Shufeng up and shamelessly continue with the scandal? Wei Shufeng has already made a public statement on Weibo. He hates you so much. Why are you still clinging on to him like a piece of plaster? Lin Yan was speechless. She was clinging on to Wei Shufeng. All right. As long as you guys are happy. Before the reporters could surround them, Duo dashed out of the crowd and shielded Lin Yan with all her might as she walked away. Lin Yan stared at the lass in surprise. Duo finally escorted Lin Yan out. She snorted angrily. I merely promised Sister Ling that I would watch over you. She had witnessed what Lin Yan had done with her own eyes. She had no idea what had gotten into Lin Yan, but she hadn't gotten close to Wei Shufeng at all. However, Wei Shufeng seemed to have gone crazy. He had initiated a conversation with Lin Yan the entire time. She knew very well that no one would believe her. Instead, she would be mocked and ridiculed. Chapter 155. It had been a thrilling day. When Lin Yan reached home, she scrolled through Weibo. Indeed, because of Jiang Xifei and He Shanshan's actions, the netizens were scolding her even more. As usual, she posted "getting rich every day" on Weibo and refreshed the trending page. Then, she saw Wei Shufeng's latest post. Wei Shufeng typed, "In my world, there will be no sunlight in the day and no stars in the night." Wei Shufeng's fans felt their hearts ache when they saw his sentimental post. Come and take a look. Look at what she has done to our child. Our child is willing to make such a big sacrifice for the sake of her professional acting. This news is infuriating. I want to send an electric baton to my baby. If Lin Yan dares to come near, I will electrocute her. Is there no way to get rid of this malignant tumor of the entertainment industry? Sigh. Every single trending page was filled with her own gossip. There wasn't any fresh gossip. How boring. Lin Yan tossed her phone aside in boredom. Then, she fished out a yellowed photo from the bedside table. In the photo, a 5-year-old boy was tugging at the corner of her shirt as he stood beside her timidly under a cherry blossom tree. The other half of the photo was of Lin Xia. Lin Yan stared at her brother in a daze before she picked up her phone and dialed a number. The call was answered after a few rings. Lin Yan asked, "Hello, is there any news about my brother?" A deep male voice came from the other end of the phone. According to the information you provided, I have already locked onto a few targets. However, those targets are not ordinary organizations. It will be very difficult to get the information. I still need some time. Lin Yan's eyes dimmed when she heard the answer she had expected. Got it. Thank you. The man sighed heavily. Actually, I advise you not to get your hopes up. With your brother's condition, without your protection, the chances of him surviving are slim. Lin Yan's voice quivered. I won't give up until I don't see his corpse. Years ago, she and her brother had been kidnapped and sold. They had been sold to an underground laboratory and locked up for a long time. She didn't want to recall what had happened during that period of time. Later, she was forcibly separated from her brother. She couldn't imagine how her brother would face those terrible things without her by his side. She pretended to cooperate, and when they let down their guard, she finally found a chance to escape. However, when she went back to save her brother, the laboratory seemed to have disappeared into thin air. There was no trace of it. When the police arrived, it wasn't a laboratory, but an abandoned warehouse. At the time, she was still very young. She told the police that this was a laboratory and that there were many other children like them locked up here. However, the reply she received was that they had already investigated this place and it was really just an abandoned warehouse from start to finish. She had also gone to the hospital for a full-body checkup, and there were no problems. Everyone thought that she was mentally stimulated and was babbling nonsense. As for his younger brother, he had yet to find any news of him. It was as if this person had completely vanished from the world. And what happened during that period of time seemed to be an illusion. An illusion. Chapter 156. The person on the other end of the line sighed heavily and asked, "How has your body been recently?" "I'm worried that your body might suffer from some unpredictable side effects." "I'm fine. It's been so many years, and I haven't had any problems. It's just that mentally. Forget it. It's not a big problem. Don't worry." Lin Yan's heart skipped a beat as she spoke. Had she been suffering from mental problems recently? Was it a side effect of being in the laboratory? Her body had been fine all these years, so she had never thought about it. After Lin Yan hung up, she was lost in her thoughts when a voice message popped up on WeChat, interrupting her train of thought. It was Pei Yutong. Why was this kid looking for her again? Lin Yan answered the call suspiciously. "Hello? Big sister-in-law. Are you home?" asked Pei Yutong. Lin Yan replied, "Yeah, I'm home." "What's wrong? What the? Why are you home again?" "It's still early. Why didn't you go on a date with my brother? The way you two interact is so weird. It's fine if you call him a strange name, but why haven't I seen you two go on a date after all this time?" Pei Yutong complained incessantly. Lin Yan coughed softly. "Who said that you have to go on a date? Everyone is so busy, especially your brother. He must be very busy with work. It's good if you don't have time. How can you do that? If we don't maintain our relationship for a long time, it will affect our relationship." Pei Yutong persuaded her earnestly before he muttered, "Are you kidding me? Why do you need a single person like me to remind you about this? I'm really worried about this family." The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. "Classmate, can you stop worrying about my relationship with your brother? So, why did you call me? Is it because of this?" No. I have something more important to do." Pei Yutong sounded excited. "Big sister-in-law, I have an important competition tomorrow. Do you want to watch?" Lin Yan quipped, "Tomorrow? I don't have to film, but..." Pei Yutong replied immediately, "Come here then. Come here. Our team has recruited an amazing racer. He will definitely crush that idiot, Song Yaonan. You have to come and watch. It's definitely going to be spectacular, and I'll regret it for life if I don't watch it." Lin Yan pursed her lips. To be honest, she wasn't interested in competitions of that level. Come on. Look, you can't even see my brother. If you come over to watch me compete, I'll take the risk to take more videos of my brother." Pei Yutong tried to entice her. Lin Yan blurted out, "No need. Thank you." She would be thankful if he didn't shoot her any more weird videos. F***ck, you're still not tempted? Pei Yutong muttered to himself for a moment before he said, "Do you want my second brother's autographed poster? It's an anniversary limited edition. Signed poster. And it was a limited edition." As a humble fan, Lin Yan, who didn't even have an ordinary signature from Pei Nanshu, was instantly tempted. An autographed poster and a limited edition at that? You really have it? Pei Yutong's heart sank when he heard Lin Yan's excited tone. "Big sister-in-law, how could you reject my big brother's video and choose my second brother's autographed poster? Don't tell me you're trying to two-time me. F***ck. If that's the case, which side should I stand on? Big brother or second brother? How should I choose? Damn it. Was he seriously considering which side to choose? Lin Yan was exasperated. What do you mean by two-time? I already said that your second brother is my idol. Alright. No matter what, are you coming or not? If you come, I will secretly deliver my second brother's poster to you behind my big brother's back. Why did this sound so strange? Chapter 157. However, to Lin Yan, Pei Nanshu's limited edition autographed poster was rather attractive. Actually, it didn't matter whether it was a poster or not. What was important was that it was a limited edition poster. If she auctioned it, she would be able to earn a lot of money. No. It was her idol's limited edition poster. How could she think of selling it for money? Sister Yan, are you still listening? Say something. Don't hide. I know you're listening. Pei Yutong's voice rose several decibels. I'm listening. Lin Yan snapped back to her senses. Sister Yan, honestly, do you want to be my big sister-in-law or second sister-in-law? You have to tell me. Otherwise, I won't know if I should call you big sister-in-law or second sister-in-law. Pei Yutong sighed heavily and added, it's hard to be loyal and righteous. Sister Yan, let me tell you a shocking secret. Don't tell anyone else. What secret? Who is it about? Asked Lin Yan curiously. It's about my big brother. Pei Yutong replied softly. Oh, don't tell me then. It's dangerous, replied Lin Yan. No, you have to listen. I'm afraid that you'll go down the wrong path. I'm doing this for your own good. Pei Yutong rattled on. Lin Yan was speechless. Who would force someone to listen to a shocking secret? Wasn't a secret supposed to be guarded? What was going on? All right, tell me. Lin Yan had no choice but to listen. Sister Yan, let me tell you. My big brother is definitely not what you see. My big brother is really terrifying. Pei Yutong quipped. Lin Yan replied, continue. Are you done? Pei Yutong asked. Lin Yan was speechless. The so-called shocking secret was this? To think that she was really curious just now and wanted to eat a big melon. Everyone knows what you said. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. What kind of secret was this? Pei Yutong had mentioned it several times. Sister Yan, have you misunderstood something? Let me tell you. What you see is only on the surface. Don't be fooled by Big Brother. He is 1,000 times scarier than what you see. No, he is 10 million times scarier. Pei Yutong blurted out anxiously. All right. I got it. Lin Yan grinned. Pei Yutong scratched his nose. Sister Yan sounded as though she was caring for a mentally handicapped person. He must have heard wrongly. Sister Yan, do you want to be my big sister-in-law or second sister-in-law? Pei Yutong repeated himself. Be your sister. Lin Yan pinched her temples. Was he a repeater? Little Sister Yan, I know what you mean. Pei Yutong grinned. However, in the next second, he heard the busy tone from the phone. Lin Yan hung up instantly. She felt as though she had been dragged down by Pei Yutong. Was he really Pei Yucheng and Pei Nanshu's biological brother? She felt that if she continued talking to Pei Yutong, she would become a retard. They had the same parents and the same environment. How could there be such a huge difference? Before Lin Yan could relax, Pei Yutong called again. Chapter 158. The moment she picked up, Pei Yutong's passionate voice rang out once again. All right. I got it. Lin Yan sighed helplessly. Pei Yutong was simply a pest that she couldn't get rid of. If she didn't agree, she was afraid that Pei Yutong would keep calling her until her phone ran out. Haha. Sister Yan, let's make a deal. You can't stand me up. Sister Yan, I'll hang up now. Pei Yutong said cheerfully. Hold on. Lin Yan interrupted him hastily when she heard that he was about to hang up. Sister Yan, what's wrong? Pei Yutong was puzzled. Autographed, limited edition, poster. Don't forget it. Lin Yan replied firmly. Pei Yutong was speechless. All right. Don't worry. I will definitely steal it for you, Pei Yutong promised. Lin Yan hung up immediately after hearing Pei Yutong's promise. This brat, Lin Yan clutched her phone and couldn't help but feel a little dazed. If that incident hadn't happened and her brother had still been around, he would have been around the same age as Pei Yutong. At the thought of her brother, Lin Yan's eyes unconsciously flashed with a hint of fierceness. If it hadn't been for that bunch of B** stars, one day, she would have hacked those people into pieces and made them regret their actions. Lin Yan composed herself and took a few deep breaths. She immediately suppressed the restless emotions in her mind. She had lost control of herself more than once, and the consequences were severe. Each time, she would suffer a devastating blow. Now, she could adjust her emotions and control the number of times she lost control. Even now, Lin Yan still felt a chill down her spine when she recalled everything that had happened in the laboratory. It had been a purgatory and a real hell. If she could, she would rather forget everything that had happened in the past. Unfortunately, this memory was like a burning iron that was imprinted in her mind. Ever since she was young, her ability to comprehend and learn had been extraordinary. After the laboratory had been modified, it had become even more terrifying. If it hadn't been for that, perhaps she wouldn't have become the world's top racer. Her ability to comprehend and learn wouldn't have been so amazing. However, at the same time, she had lost her younger brother and left with uncontrollable sequelae, as well as that painful memory that could not be erased. Ever since she had escaped, she had deliberately concealed the changes in her body. However, she still didn't know if she could be considered a normal person. His current schizophrenia was probably a side effect of that time. Being possessed by a ghost was indeed a little too unscientific and rigorous. Fortunately, she had been quite normal recently and did not have a relapse. She hoped that she could continue to maintain it. She did not want to be locked up in a mental hospital in the future. The next day, Lin Yan wore a cap and a mask to the venue that Pei Yutong had assigned her. Car racing is divided into track racing and non-track racing. Non-track racing venues were not enclosed. Most of them were held in the wild. There were rally races, cross-country races, mountaineering races, beach races, mud races, and so on. Not long after, Grandpa and the others started a non-track race. It was a rally race with a team of racers and navigators. Track racing referred to racing in a designated enclosed field. This type of track racing was generally more enjoyable to watch, because the spectators could sit directly on the two sides of the stands and watch the race immersively. Pei Yutong and the others were competing in the arena. Chapter 159. Pei Yutong was busying himself with an excited grin on his face. He looked as though he had already pinned Song Yaonan and the others to the ground. "Sister Yan, why are you here?" Pei Yutong was startled when he saw Lin Yan. He hurriedly put down what he was doing and walked over to Lin Yan. He handed her a bottle of water. Before Lin Yan could respond, Pei Yutong seemed to have recalled something. He blurted out excitedly, "Oh yeah. Sister Yan. Let me introduce you to them." Pei Yutong gestured to a few young men and women. "Sister Yan, do you know them?" Lin Yan scanned them from head to toe and shook her head in confusion. "I don't know them," none of them looked familiar, so she had no impression of them. One of the young men glanced at Lin Yan coldly before he shut his eyes again, as though he was recuperating. "Sister Yan, are you serious? You're good at driving. You're considered an expert. You're a racer. How could you not know the members of the ZH1 team?" Pei Yutong stared at Lin Yan in shock. This was ridiculous. ZH1 was the top team in the country. They had participated in the third level of the international competition. Everyone in the country who loved racing knew about ZH1. Pei Yutong would never have guessed that Lin Yan, who was good at racing, wouldn't know about ZH1. "Sister Yan. Your racing skills have been wasted." Pei Yutong cast a disdainful glance at Lin Yan. "Huh?" Lin Yan was startled. "What do you mean?" When Lin Yan had been overseas, she had only met the top teams in the world. She wasn't familiar with the local teams. Sister Yan, everyone knows about ZH1, especially the people in front of you. They participated in the third level of the international competition. How could you not know about them? Pei Yutang quipped. The third level of the international competition? Lin Yan fell silent when she heard Pei Yutang. The international competition was indeed a high-level competition, but there were 3 levels. The highest scale was the global first division, followed by the second division and the third division. When Lin Yan had first debuted, she had participated in the second level of the international competition. She wasn't too sure about the third level of the international competition, because it was really unimpressive. Even the disciples of her disciples had never participated in the third level of the internationals. Sorry, I'm not sure. Lin Yan grinned. Forget it. Pei Yutang waved his hand dismissively and grinned. He squeezed his way to Lin Yan and said, Sister Yan, let me introduce you. Pei Yutang gestured to a young man. Sister Yan, this is ZH1's captain, God Z. Hi, God Z, Lin Yan nodded hastily at him. The young man raised his head to look at Lin Yan. However, he retracted his gaze and didn't say anything. This is Brother Q, and that is Mumu. Pei Yutang introduced them one by one. Lin Yan nodded at them one by one. Other than Mumu, who greeted her with a smile, the rest of the racers glanced at her out of the corner of their eyes. Chapter 160. No, you guys don't understand Sister Yan. How about this? Let's find some time to let Sister Yan demonstrate her talent. I'm sure your opinion of her will change. Pei Yutang replied hastily. Actually, this was how the racing industry was now. Female racers weren't valued. In fact, they were looked down upon. Women weren't as good as men when it came to racing. Racing wasn't like driving a private car. It required an extremely calm mind, and one's stamina and energy had to be very strong as well. One's mind needed to be extremely clear and calm. Otherwise, the slightest carelessness could lead to a car crash and death. Besides, racing wasn't something that an ordinary person could endure. It was extremely demanding on one's mental fortitude, and it was tough. Women usually couldn't persevere. Even if they did, they wouldn't be able to perform as well as men. Besides, there were countless cases of cars crashing and people dying. Once an accident occurred, it wouldn't be a minor one, be it during training or competition. Hence, there were very few female racers in the country, except for a few talented racers. Pei Yutang, forget it. God Z ignored Lin Yan and stared at Pei Yutang. I'm not interested in her. I don't think she has any talent. Let her enjoy her life and watch the competition. This. Pei Yutang hesitated. He really thought that Lin Yan was talented. It would be a pity if she was buried like this. Pei Yutang, she doesn't even know about ZH1. Pei Yutang, she doesn't even know about ZH1. How would she know anything about racing? Ask her if she knows about the third level of the international competition. Has she watched it live? If she had, she would have heard of us. We made it to the top 16 in the previous level. How could she not know about us? The ZH1 team member glanced at Lin Yan contemptuously and sneered in disdain. As a girl, you should focus on being beautiful. Why would you talk about racing? Don't you think that women and racing are incompatible? Racing is such a sacred thing. Don't you think that you should respect it? Another ZH1 racer sneered coldly. Lin Yan's eyes darted to the ZH1 racer. Did he have a grudge against women? Did he look down on female racers? Pei Yutang could only sigh when he saw God Z's unyielding attitude. There was no room for negotiation. But I have a few disciples who have just joined the sect. If she really wants to play, I can discuss with them and take her in as my disciple, God Z suddenly said. That's fine too. God Zi's disciple is definitely not bad. Pei Yutong nodded eagerly. He glanced at Lin Yan. Sister Yan, what do you think? Nothing much. I don't have any plans to become your disciple, replied Lin Yan. One of the ZH1 members glared at Lin Yan coldly. Why are you throwing a tantrum because God Z didn't accept you as his disciple? Who gave you the confidence to think that you can be God Z's disciple? Lin Yan was speechless. Was there something wrong with the brains of the top team members that Pei Yutong had invited? Were they mentally ill like her? She had schizophrenia, while the ZH1 members were delusional? Chapter 161. Pei Yutong, tell your friend to be more grounded. Don't be delusional. God Z stood up slowly and glanced at Pei Yutong. I don't think my disciple would accept such a person. I'm going to check the venue. That's all. With that, God Z left the logistics room with his teammates. Hi, don't take it to heart. If you really like racing, I can teach you when I'm free. ZH1's racer, Mumu, strode over to Lin Yan and chuckled softly. Actually, they didn't mean you any harm. Racing isn't for ordinary people. It's extremely dangerous. Of course, if you really like racing and are determined enough, I can give you some guidance. Mumu, that's great. Pei Yutong blurted out hastily. Okay. Leave your contact details later. I'm going to check the venue now. Mumu nodded at Lin Yan and Pei Yutong before he left. After all the ZH1 racers had left, Pei Yutong turned to Lin Yan and exclaimed excitedly, Sister Yan, this is really a glimmer of hope. You're in luck. Although Mumu can't be compared to God Z, he's still very good. He's a good person. Lin Yan nodded in response. What do you mean by good person? He's a good person, but Sister Yan, aren't you focusing on the wrong things? It's his racing skills. Pei Yutong quipped. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong. Where's my limited edition poster? Sister Yan, you're hopeless. How could you be thinking about a stupid poster at such an exciting time? Pei Yutong retrieved a brand new poster from the storage room and handed it to Lin Yan. Lin Yan opened it. Indeed, Pei Nanshu's limited edition poster hadn't disappointed her. Instantly, Lin Yan saw stars. There weren't many limited edition posters. Even famous actresses in the industry couldn't get their hands on one. There's only one. Is that all? Lin Yan rolled up the poster carefully as she asked Pei Yutong. That's all. I only stole one. If you think it's too little, I can steal more next time, replied Pei Yutong. Third young master, Pei Nanshu is your brother. How can this be considered stealing? Go back and get more, quipped Lin Yan. Anyway, it's about the same. Pei Yutong cocked his head to the side. Then, as though he had just recalled something, he hastily added, oh yeah. Sister Yan, follow me during the competition. Watch the ZH1 players compete and learn as much as you can. Lin Yan was speechless. He could even learn this? Then she could just watch the world's top competition on television. What was the point of wasting time here? Sister Yan, there's still some time before the competition starts. I'm going to check out the venue. Go ahead. I'll look for you later. Pei Yutong scampered off. Lin Yan didn't linger. She got up and left. However, just as he left the logistics room, he bumped into a man. Didn't you bring your eyes out? The man shouted in displeasure. I'm sorry. Are you all right? Asked Lin Yan. It's you? Wei Shufeng lifted his head and was taken aback when he saw the girl in front of him. Wei Shufeng? Lin Yan hadn't expected that Wei Shufeng would show up here and bump into her by chance. Did you follow me? Wei Shufeng stared at Lin Yan with a frown. Lin Yan was speechless. Chapter 162. Why would I follow you? Lin Yan was speechless. Alright, I got it. Wei Shufeng stared at Lin Yan as the corners of his mouth curled into a cold smile. Lin Yan, let me tell you something. Even if you start racing now, you will only be you. You will never become Yeva. Lin Yan was speechless. Did she need to become Yeva? She had always been Yeva. Lin Yan, don't think that you can become the person in my heart just because you know my story. You will only make me feel disgusted. Do you understand? Wei Shufeng's eyes suddenly turned sharp. Don't try to change yourself into Yeva. You are not worthy, and it is impossible for you to do so. Before Lin Yan could respond, Wei Shufeng's phone rang. Dad. What? Now? Wei Shufeng looked displeased. I'm at the racetrack. There will be a good show today. Alright, I got it. I will head back now. Wei Shufeng hung up, looking frustrated. D***it. Do I have to watch the He family team's elimination competition in a few days? Wei Shufeng turned to Lin Yan and hissed coldly, remember what I said. My goddess will always be Yeva. You will never become her. Be yourself and don't insult Yeva. Otherwise, I will make you regret it. Wei Shufeng didn't give her a chance to respond before he turned and left. Lin Yan hadn't expected that Wei Shufeng would be so interested in the racing competitions in the country. She hadn't expected to bump into him here either. However, if Wei Shufeng hadn't been so obsessed with racing, he wouldn't have had the chance to know Yeva. Wait a minute. What did Wei Shufeng say? That he could only watch the He family team in a few days? Which He family team? Lin Yan rested her chin on her hand as she mulled over this. Only her grandfather's team was in charge of the He family team in the capital city. If that was the case, wouldn't she have to face Wei Shufeng again during the elimination round? Lin Yan began to ponder whether she should change her appearance. She didn't want to say that she had pretended to be Yeva to get close to him. Even so, if Lin Yan really had a chance to compete, Wei Shufeng would have to admit that she was Yeva. Lin Yan couldn't help but feel troubled. It was too difficult for her. Before long, Lin Yan arrived at the arena and surveyed her surroundings. It had to be said that Pei Yutong and Song Yaonan had chosen a decent track. At the very least, it would be able to support a large competition. Lin Yan had watched the two racers and realized that there wasn't much of a difference between them. This time, Pei Yutong and Song Yaonan had put in a lot of effort. There was not much difference in the performance of the racers, so it all depended on the performance of the racers. Especially in a race, the handling of details was crucial. It directly affected the outcome of the race. It was a battle between racers. Sister Yan. Suddenly, Pei Yutong appeared behind Lin Yan and placed his right arm on her left shoulder. Almost instinctively, Lin Yan grabbed his arm. Chapter 163. Lin Yan snapped back to her senses and let go of him. She stared at him, who was perspiring profusely, speechless. Was this kid trying to scare a ghost by sneaking up behind someone's back? Sister Yan, what do you mean? What grudge do you have against me? Why would you want to kill me? Did you grow up eating spinach? How could you be so strong? Pei Yutong swung his arm gently. Lin Yan had almost broken it. Lin Yan was speechless. This kid had run behind her and placed his hand on her shoulder. How dare he blame her? If I had killed you, your arm would have been gone. Lin Yan grinned at Pei Yutong. Sister Yan, you might be strong, but you don't have to brag. Is my arm made of plastic? How could it be gone just like that? Pei Yutong looked indignant. Sister Yan, I'm telling you. If it had been someone else, I would have retaliated. If I had retaliated, I would have either died or been seriously injured. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong. Why was he acting so tough now? Hadn't he been wailing and whining about how his arm was going to be broken? Lin Yan was about to say something when Pei Yutong's eyes darted to the road below. His eyes gleamed coldly. Why is that dog here so early? Pei Yutong snorted coldly. Lin Yan followed Pei Yutong's gaze and scanned the road below. It was none other than Pei Yutong's nemesis, Song Yaonan, and the others. Song Yaonan and his team were smiling as they chatted with a group of foreign racers in blue uniforms. There was a cheetah pattern on the back of the blue uniform. The blue uniform seemed familiar to Lin Yan. She felt as though she had seen it somewhere before. Before Lin Yan could ponder, Pei Yutong tapped her cautiously with his finger. What's wrong? Lin Yan turned to Pei Yutong immediately. Pei Yutong took a few steps back when Lin Yan turned around. Sister Yan, what are you thinking about? You ignored me. Pei Yutong heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Yan's natural reaction had traumatized Pei Yutong. He was afraid that if he wasn't careful, Lin Yan would hurt his poor arm again. Nothing. I was just looking at Song Yaonan's team. Lin Yan grinned. Sister Yan, I don't understand either. What is Song Yaonan up to? Did he hire a foreign team? Pei Yutong stepped forward when he realized that there was no danger. Lin Yan glanced at the team members. Wasn't it obvious enough? They were all foreign racers. Sister Yan, do you know that lousy team? I don't believe that Song Yaonan would be able to hire such an impressive racer. We have ZH1, the best racers in the country, and we have God Z. Pei Yutong was indignant. I think so. Lin Yan fell into deep thought. Before Lin Yan could finish, Pei Yutong shook his head and quipped, Sister Yan, although you're good at racing, you've never learned about the local teams. You don't even know about ZH1 and God Z. How could you know about other teams? Lin Yan was speechless. She really knew. They wore blue racing uniforms with a leopard running at top speed on their backs. They were from a foreign racing team called Speed, which translates to speed. Chapter 164. At that time, Lin Yan's apprentice had coincidentally met the captain of Speed. Lin Yan could still remember how arrogant the captain had been. He had insulted her apprentice in all sorts of ways. In the end, her apprentice had personally sent Speed's captain off the track. What was worth mentioning was that Lin Yan's apprentice had overtaken Speed's captain at the start of the race. He had even waited for Speed's captain for 2.5 minutes. Lin Yan's apprentice had become famous after that race. He had become the champion of the second level of the international competition and had become one of the most popular racers in the second level. His popularity had skyrocketed. Even so, the Speed team couldn't be underestimated. They had made it to the quarterfinals of the second level of the international competition. The ZH1 team that Pei Yutong had invited was nothing compared to the Speed team. They weren't on the same level at all. Speed had made it to the top 8 of the second level of the international competition. ZH1 had made it to the top 16 of the third level of the international competition. Just using data to speak, how could there be even the slightest bit of comparison? The difference between the second and third level of the international competition was like night and day. To put it simply, it was like the difference between a kindergarten student and a university student. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong quietly. Unknowingly, a hint of sympathy flitted across her eyes. Brat, I wish you luck, Sister Yan, look at Song Yaonan. He even invited a few foreign racers. He really doesn't know his place. Does he really think that those foreign racers can help him win this race? Third young master, do you have any special stakes? Lin Yan asked Pei Yutong. Of course. Pei Yutong nodded and sneered coldly. Sister Yan, the stakes are that the losers' team will be disbanded and they will have to scram from the track. Also, they will have to crawl between their opponent's legs. Lin Yan was speechless. Good luck. Why are you looking at me like that? What do you mean? Don't you believe that ZH1 is good? Pei Yutong was displeased when he noticed Lin Yan's expression. Lin Yan stared at Pei Yutong as she pondered how she should broach the topic. Was Pei Yutong brainless? He should have at least tried to find out what kind of team the other party had invited. How were they going to compete now? Even if they risked their lives, they wouldn't be able to defeat the ZH1 team. Third young master, do you think it's possible? Lin Yan eyed him intently. What possibility? Pei Yutong was puzzled. For example, surrendering and losing half of the bet. Replied Lin Yan. If I surrender, I'll lose half. Pei Yutong, who was taken aback by Lin Yan's words, sneered coldly. Sister Yan, are you kidding me? Would I be so kind as to ask Song Yaonan to surrender? Losing half of it? Absolutely impossible. Lin Yan was speechless. Good luck. Sister Yan, just you wait and see. This time, I will make Song Yaonan pay me back with interest. How dare he bully me? He has never suffered a loss before. Pei Yutong grinned. What if I told you that Song Yaonan hired Speed? Asked Lin Yan. Speed? Pei Yutong fell into deep thought. He had never heard of this team before. What team is this? I've never heard of it. Pei Yutong shook his head. Chapter 165. What? Pei Yutong, who was dumbfounded, stared at Lin Yan in disbelief. You participated in the second level of the international competition? You even made it to the quarterfinals? Are you serious, Sister Yan? Don't scare me like that. I know those racers, but I've seen their uniforms when I watched the second level of the international competition. It should be them, replied Lin Yan. Sister Yan, you gave me a fright. I thought you were familiar with them. Pei Yutong heaved a sigh of relief when he heard Lin Yan. Sister Yan, you're not familiar with the teams. Besides, most of their uniforms are similar. You must be mistaken. How could Song Yaonan invite the top 8 racers of the second level of the international competition? What a joke. I can't even invite them. Lin Yan shrugged in response to Pei Yutong's words. Anyway, it was up to Pei Yutong whether he believed her or not. Oh, isn't this young Master Pei who is about to crawl out of my crotch? Song Yaonan and the others strode over to the VIP seats. Song Yaonan, why are you pretending to be a coward? Don't you know who is crawling under whose crotch? Pei Yutong sneered coldly. Song Yaonan didn't waste any more time. He gave Pei Yutong the middle finger before his eyes landed on Lin Yan. His eyes gleamed coldly. Song Yaonan would never forget the humiliation that this woman had brought him. As a woman, she had defeated him in a race. Song Yaonan didn't care about losing the engine. However, he had to regain his dignity. Why? Do you want to participate in this competition? Song Yaonan eyed Lin Yan with a grin. I'm just here to watch the competition, replied Lin Yan. Watch the competition? How can that be? You beat me last time, so I want to give you another chance. Do you dare to bet with me? Song Yaonan quipped. I'm not interested, replied Lin Yan nonchalantly. Pei Yutong, this girl you brought is just like you. She's a coward. Song Yaonan glanced at Pei Yutong. F***CK. Who are you talking about? Pei Yutong's eyes widened in anger as he rolled up his sleeves. Before Pei Yutong could respond, Lin Yan frowned and pushed him behind her. Her eyes landed on Song Yaonan. Lin Yan glared at Song Yaonan and replied coldly, I'm a loyal person. Oh, and then? Song Yaonan asked curiously. You can criticize him, but I can't, replied Lin Yan. Pei Yutong was touched by Lin Yan's words. He nodded repeatedly and said, well said. You can call me a coward, but to say that before he could finish, Pei Yutong was taken aback. He turned to Lin Yan in astonishment. How could this be? Was this what she meant by loyalty? Song Yaonan, what do you want to bet? How do you want to bet? Asked Lin Yan. Let's bet on this competition. The outcome of the competition has nothing to do with our bet. As long as you can beat any of the contestants behind me, you will win. If you lose. Song Yaonan's gaze landed on Pei Yutong as though he was taunting him. You will have to sleep with me for one night. Song Yaonan had always assumed that Lin Yan was Pei Yutong's lover. Hence, he had said this to humiliate Pei Yutong. Chapter 166. Pei Yutong and the other young men and women around Song Yaonan looked perplexed. Even the members of Speed frowned. Lin Yan strode over to Pei Yutong and patted his shoulder gently. Thank you for your hard work. F***CK. Song Yaonan, are you out of your mind? Get lost. Don't come near me. Pei Yutong pointed at Song Yaonan and cursed. Song Yaonan hadn't realized what was going on at first. However, when he saw the expressions on everyone's faces, he finally understood. He had said that he would spend the night with Lin Yan, not Pei Yutong. He had stared at Pei Yutong and said that to provoke him. Wasn't Lin Yan Pei Yutong's lover? Were these people brainless? Couldn't they understand what was going on? Pei Yutong, I'm talking about your lover. I'm not talking about you, Song Yaonan quipped. You want her to spend the night with you? Pei Yutong's eyes trailed to Lin Yan, and he shuddered. No way. If he lost, his big brother would tear him and Song Yaonan to pieces. He would tear them to pieces. He wasn't joking. T. Do you think you're worthy? Pei Yutong pointed at Song Yaonan's nose and yelled, why don't you take a piss and look at yourself? Why? Are you afraid? Are you a coward again? It's fine if you don't dare to bet. Just admit that you're a coward. Song Yaonan sneered coldly. You, Pei Yutong's face was flushed with anger. Before he could retort, Lin Yan stepped forward and grinned. All right, I accept your bet. No. Don't be rash. Pei Yutong gasped when he heard Lin Yan agree to Song Yaonan's bet. This wasn't a joke. Song Yaonan and his men were like bullies. What wouldn't they do? If Lin Yan lost, Big Brother would be alerted. Then, everyone would be in deep trouble. Pei Yutong, what has this got to do with you? This is a bet between me and her, understand? Song Yaonan glanced at Pei Yutong. You haven't told me what will happen if you lose. Lin Yan eyed Song Yaonan intently. If I lose, I'll do whatever you say. Song Yaonan chuckled. If I win. I want 2 engines this time. Replied Lin Yan. Song Yaonan, Pei Yutong. Song Yaonan smirked as he looked at the girl beside him. Did she really think that they could win again? And you want 2 engines? Sure. 2 engines. If you win, you can choose whichever engine you want, Song Yaonan said. Deal. Lin Yan nodded. Pei Yutong dragged Lin Yan to a corner. Sister, big sister-in-law. Daddy. Don't mess with me. If Big Brother finds out, he will blame it on me. He will kill me. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong. If he hadn't forced her to come, this wouldn't have happened. Don't worry. It has nothing to do with you. Besides, your big brother won't know, replied Lin Yan. He won't know? Are you kidding me? Sister Yan, even if Song Yaonan's team can't beat ZH1, defeating you will be a piece of cake. Pei Yutong was panicking. What are you afraid of? Calm down. I have a plan, replied Lin Yan. Sister Yan, you have to take it easy. You can run away when we race later. I'll handle the rest. Pei Yutong quipped. All right, I got it. Lin Yan waved at Pei Yutong. P.S. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 years had passed since I had typed the first word. Many of the babies had gotten to know me when I wrote, "I wish you a bright radiance." Many of them had been with me since earlier. Second embarrassment didn't have any hobbies other than stroking her cat. All she loved was writing. She loved writing with all of you. The happiest thing was that you liked and approved of the plot that I had put so much effort into writing. There were many times when I almost couldn't hold on. However, because of your support and encouragement, I managed to pull through the most difficult times. I'm grateful to all of you for being by my side all this time. You've allowed me to persevere until today. Now, I'd like to bow to all of my cute babies. Thank you. You're the sweetest and the warmest. I've already informed everyone that this book will be published on the 25th of this weekend. There will be a new chapter on the 25th at around midnight. To thank the babies for their support, there will be a huge wave of activities when the book is published. Activity 1, post a post on QQ Reading Group about the most memorable plot or lines in the novel. If you get more than 100 likes, you will receive a custom-made keychain. It's limited to the first 50 readers. If you get more likes, you will receive another prize. Group 439909781. The event will last from August 25th to August 31st. P.S. There are many types of keychains, including One Day, You Will Like Me, I Wish You a Bright Radiance, Just Like the Cold Light Meets the Blazing Sun, and I'll Have You for the Rest of My Life, Sweet and Warm. You can choose any one of them. You can only win once in this activity, but you can win multiple times with other activities. Activity 2, the top 200 readers on the QQ Reading Group's most active list this month will receive exquisite peripherals of different grades. 1 to 10, full set of peripherals, notebook plus pillow plus keychain plus autographed book, 11-5, notebook plus pillow plus keychain 51-100, notebook plus keychain 101-150, notebook 151-200, keychain, choose one. P.S. Screenshots of all your subscriptions must be provided when you receive the prize. This activity can win multiple times with other activities. The event ends on August 31st, Activity 3, on the day of publication, which is the early morning of the 25th. The third wave of building activities on QQ Reading Group will begin. There will be lots of rewards waiting for you. Chapter 167. It was almost time for the competition, so the staff were busy preparing. All the cars had been placed at the start of the racetrack. ZH1's members had arrived at the venue. ZH1's Mumu was taken aback when he saw Song Yanan's team in the distance. "Captain, look!" Mumu exclaimed hastily. God Z instinctively glanced at the venue. When he saw Sep's team, he sprang to his feet. Air Commander's team. Speed? God Z was shocked. Pei Yutong, what are you doing? God Z glared at Pei Yutong. Don't you know who they are? Pei Yutong was dumbfounded as well. Was what Lin Yan had said true? Song Yaonan had really invited Speed to the second level of the international competition and had made it to the quarterfinals? Pei Yutong had promised ZH1 that they would definitely win this competition, so they wouldn't have to worry about Song Yaonan. However, ZH1 was competing against Speed. ZH1 was the top team in the country and they hadn't lost in 2 years. Although this wasn't an official competition, they couldn't afford to lose. However, they couldn't be compared to Speed at all, that D*Ned Pei Yutong. How could he not know about their team? However, Pei Yutong couldn't be blamed entirely. They had been careless and had believed Pei Yutong's words without any investigation. Pei Yutong was at a loss for words. Pei Yutong had thought that he would be able to defeat Song Yaonan by inviting ZH1. Who would have thought that Song Yaonan would be so capable? He had even managed to invite Speed, a team that had made it to the quarterfinals of the second level of the international competition. We are doomed, all the ZH1 members looked ashen. Their best record had been the top 16 of the third level of the international competition. Speed, on the other hand, had made it to the quarterfinals of the second level of the international competition. How could they be compared to Speed? Speed's captain, nicknamed Air Force, was a racer who had raced with Lang Mang before. Lang Mang. He had won several championships on the second-best track in the world. He was also one of the disciples of the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva. No one had ever seen the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva. She had been the champion of the international competition many times in a row, and she was the undisputed champion. She had even surpassed the first level and reached the pinnacle of the racetrack. Her nickname as the racetrack's Grim Reaper wasn't just for show. Ever since she had debuted in the second level, she had dominated the first and second level of the global competition. Many legendary racers had been killed by her. Speed's captain, Air Commander, was a racer who had competed with Yava's disciple. He had already lost before the race had even begun. D***Amenit. Who the hell is Song Yaonan? He even called the Air Force team over. One of the ZH-1 members gritted his teeth. They were bound to lose today. Who is Air Commander? Pei Yutong asked cautiously. Air Commander is the captain of Speed. He competed with Lang Mang, the disciple of the racetrack's Grim Reaper, in the second level of the international competition. Mumu explained. You're tuning in to the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.